Get ready for another week of Eastlake Walls football. The excitement starts now with an amazing pregame show. Live from the Den, here are your hosts, David and Jeremy.
Welcome to Eastlake football on a lovely Saturday afternoon.
Indeed, it is lovely. Jeremy, I just arrived here at the stadium, and it could not be better weather in the Pacific Northwest on a near mid-November Saturday. The Mead Panthers have showed up to the field in their white and gray uniforms. Eastlake is in their black tops and white bottoms, and we have the stage set for an amazing football game today.
We do. So today, Dave, we're going to do something a little different. Usually, we've recorded the Den, a little inside football we recorded during the week and play it because usually both of us are kind of running to get here. Today, that's not the case.
Today, we're live.
We're live. We're live here for the Den.
This is not pre-recorded, so
bear with us
unedited.
A little bit.
This is new for us. We love it.
And we didn't do an interview this week, so we figured we'd just go live. We'd show some clips of, some of the Mead plays from the last couple games, and then we'd run through some Eastlake clips, maybe look at the playoff bracket for WIAA as we get done with the round of 32. A lot of games played yesterday, a couple being played today, and that really sets the stage for the round of 16 next week, which is officially the first round of WIA playoffs. So,
how about we do that first, Jeremy? Let's talk about how we got here. I think that's important for the audience to know. Yeah. So today is WIA is the Washington High School Athletic Association, and this is the round of 32, as they call it. So last Sunday, we were all patiently waiting to find out who we would play. Last week, we knew that if we won, we would play. And we had a good draw against Newport, played a great game. And
we all said last week, this is our last home game, right? I mean, and we said it the week before that. We're going to keep saying that. Now, I don't think that that's going to be true next week.
I think so.
And neither do you, but
yes.
But, yeah, so we had the bracket pulled up live so everybody can see it, right? So on your left is the round of 32.
And the round of 32 is a little bit cryptic. It's not a prescriptive seed-by-seed normal like March Madness bracket. Starting next week it is, but this week they purposely mix it up to give you some different matchups. And I believe theoretically this is the 17th and 18th seed. Is that on this?
Yeah,
they don't even publicize what seed.
No, actually, we are the 15th seed.
15th seed,
right?
Okay.
And I guess we are the 15th seed going into the round of 16. And I don't know what we are. I think 17, 18, 20. I mean, there's all
32 teams, so
right.
We're in the top 16. So 15 would make sense. And Mead has had a very good season. Jeremy, you're going to go through more of the details with us, but we were pleasantly surprised to host the home game here.
Absolutely.
But we talked about this last week. I think what's important to know is if you look at Eastlake on paper, you see record-wise just a 500 team.
Right.
Started the year with a tough loss at a very, very good team in California. But then our losses in the state of Washington have been Tumwater out of conference, who's number 2 in 2A and could win the state championship. And then you've got Bothell, Skyline, and Bellevue, who are very, very good 4A teams. By the way, all of which won yesterday,
right,
and will be in the final group of 16.
And you'll see. I mean, Bothell is a number 8 seed, right? So again, very good. Skyline, a number 10. Bellevue is I believe they're number 1 in the 3A bracket, or their
top couple.
couple. And if you actually go look at Williamsfield, they're in top 10 in their bracket.
The state of Arizona.
In the state of Arizona. So our losses have all come to top 10 teams in the state of Washington or Arizona. Yeah. This is a battle-tested Eastlake team.
Yeah.
And they've, we've seen them progress through the season. It's been fun to see them progress as a team, as a coaching staff. We talk about a lot. This is, first year for head coach Greg Hurd and his whole coaching staff. They got a late start to the season, right? We had a late coaching transition here. They got a late start. They got to work really fast, but you really don't get to work until you get out to the field, and you get a little bit battle tested, and we saw that. We've seen them grow, and it's been a great road. As you said, I mean, Skyline won last night. Mount Si did not win, right? So that's a KingCo team that did not win. They went and played Richland, a very good Richland team, and they lost, so they're out. And so right now, the KingCo teams that are currently in are Skyline. I'm sorry, I'm moving this thing around a little bit. Bothell. And
Eastlake.
And Eastlake. So
Woodinville also lost, but they played Lake Stevens well, I think. So we're going to talk a lot about this Mead team. We don't know a lot about the team. Jeremy, you've been doing a ton of research on them. We're going to watch some film. But the most interesting thing coming in tonight is their head coach, Kyle Snell, was the head coach or the offensive coordinator for, I believe, 7 years, and then the head coach here at Eastlake for a couple years.
I think it was 2 years.
And did a very, very good job. I see Kyle down on the field right now. He is an offensive mastermind. He played at Skyline back in the glory days of Skyline and played college football.
I believe he took his squad to see the Skyline game last night. That was the rumor in Sammamish was Mead was at Skyline last night.
Okay, well, I know they practiced at Central Washington yesterday, so they did not do the whole drive over this morning. I wondered how that would all go down, but Jeremy, let's get into some of the film. You've prepared some great stuff coming into today. I think what our goal for you as the viewers is to try to give you a sense of what we're going to see for today's game. Now, Jeremy, you and I talk about it all the time, that injuries play a key part at this point in the season. Eastlake, generally speaking, is very healthy. We've got one very good offensive, defensive lineman that's down, but other than that, we're a pretty healthy team.
We've gotten healthier throughout the season.
We have gotten healthier.
Right.
And Mead, we don't know. We've heard maybe the starting quarterback's down, maybe a backup, we don't know. But walk us through some of this film of what we're going to expect to see out of the Mead Panthers from Spokane, Washington, 5 hours, 4.5 hours away from Seattle here.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a game where, this is Mead versus Gonzaga Prep.
And Gonzaga Prep's an excellent football team.
And they're playing at Gonzaga Prep at home, but the Mead is in the dark blue for some reason. You and I were a little bit confused on that. Yeah. So Mead is in the dark blue.
So our opponent who we play tonight is in the gray helmets and blue jerseys here.
Right. So I'm going to play this first play. I think we're going to see a team that on paper looks very much like us. They're a very run-heavy team. In that clip there, you see, that they're going to run the ball up the middle. And Gonzaga Prep does a really good job of just filling the gaps and stopping the run. And they did that pretty consistently all game when we watched that film. So, I think for us, that's been an area that we've struggled. And we've talked to Coach about it a little bit. He is from a defensive mind, he's a run first. But we've struggled against the heavy run teams. But again, they're great teams. So we'll see what tonight brings. I know they have a couple of tricks up their sleeve this week, and call it table talk at home. I know you get some, I get some. I know that.
Keep going.
Yeah.
What I was going to add is the run teams we played against, we've kind of had 3 or 4 different run teams we played against. The first category being more of like a wing T, which Bellevue and Tumwater was. Gig Harbor was also, for that matter. And then like the Bothell, who is more of a double tight end, wingback, just smash mouth under center football.
And this team is more of the Bothell and Skyline style. I mean, I think they're going to throw the ball a little more than Bothell.
Yep.
Right? So I think probably the opponent that they look the most like, which makes sense because Kyle Snell played at Skyline, is Skyline, right? And some people that have looked at KingCo football say KingCo looks about the same. When you look at Eastlake and Skyline, they're not that far apart depending on the year, right? And so I think you're going to see that style of football. You and I both have said we should have won that Skyline game, right? That was a winnable game.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at tonight is I feel like we match up better against this style of football than under center with a bunch of pulling guards and wing backs. So
this next clip is just a little bubble screen. We see that from time to time. I think that's a play we match up pretty well with. And I think in watching the film against Mead, they like to run that little bubble screen a fair amount. The other play, so this is where the tight end releases. This is an incompletion, but that's a play that I think we're going to see tonight. That will be interesting because we've shown some weakness in our secondary, especially on those midfield type routes.
If you could just pause it right here, Jeremy, just kind of looking at something. If we go back to the start of the play, so one thing to note at the screen here is there's trips to the near side and the running backs offset to the near side. In the game of football, there's 5 eligible receivers, so 4 of them are on this side of the quarterback. There's only 1 on the back side, and I really do like how we match up. Our outside linebackers, corners, safeties are good. I feel like we can guard any tight end in this league. So, again, this Mead team's very good, but I like how we match up tonight.
Right. Yeah, so here is another one of those tight end releases. Oh, that's the same one we looked at before, sorry. But this next one is another tight end release.
Pistol, split back.
And, just looking for that softness in the zone, right? I mean, that's really what they're trying to figure out there. The quarterback that we think we're going to see tonight likes to throw the ball a little bit more than number 11, who's playing currently against Gonzaga Prep. So number 11 was Evan Drew.
And I do see number 11 is suited up and on the field. We are not sure who the starting quarterback is going to be tonight for Mead. They've kept that very quiet. We heard
it's
there were some
interesting.
injuries.
I went back after I heard this rumor. You were feeding me some rumors earlier, and I looked at a lot of their stats through the season. Generally, in most games, both quarterbacks played.
Interesting.
So
okay.
we could see a platoon of quarterbacks tonight with number 11 and number 6, and based on situation. So it'll be an interesting game. So defensively, we're in I don't know what you want to call that. I mean, that's kind of like a 3 with a couple of stacked guys, linebackers in there or tight ends, a 5-man front, I guess you would say.
That is a 5-man, 5-3 cover 3 right there, but I suspect those outside backers will drop into coverage or blitz depending on the play. In that case, they brought a lot of heat, and of course Gonzaga Prep gets outside. Now, make no mistake, if you look at the scores from their season, Gonzaga Prep is a top 5 team in the state. We'll see how they do in the playoffs.
They won last night, and so they're advancing.
They're very good.
Yeah.
They're in the final 16, and Mead hung with them in this game.
They did.
It was within a couple touchdowns.
So same. I mean, here's a play where Gonzaga Prep just drops back and throws a corner route and completes it. That's just a coverage. I mean, the guy's in coverage. You can see him run. He runs a little bit out of the screen, but he runs with him. He's fine. So when we look at the stats again for Mead, they have a very good secondary. They've created a lot of turnovers this year. So that's going to be and has to be some of Coach Hurd and his staff's concern is they've created a lot of turnovers. We've had a few turnovers on offense. And so looking at that, obviously, Miles Johnson is a force to be reckoned with. But what we've seen is he usually has a really good first drive, and then they adjust. I think there's some things that we have up our sleeve. We'll see if we see something a little bit new tonight. But I do think that Coach Hurd is going to come out and say, stop Miles Johnson, and then I'm going to adjust.
Sure. Well, and just touching on Miles, if you haven't already seen, there was an amazing social media video put out yesterday by our good friend Peyton Goldie. Peyton is a senior at Eastlake High School, friends with all these guys, used to play football, had a couple injuries, and he's taken on videography and video editing, and he put out an amazing video honoring Miles Johnson's career and record-setting all-time rushing leader for Eastlake yesterday. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the Eastlake Wolves football page. It's just a great honor for Miles Johnson and the legacy that he will leave behind on this senior class.
Absolutely. I mean, he's coming into the game. I'm going to try to look at it right now, but he's coming in on the game with 1,120 yards of rushing this year.
And had around 1,000 last year.
Yeah, so. Just 2 yards shy of 1,000 last year, which I know was a little bit of a heartbreaker for him because he wanted to get to 1,000. But
we'll round up. So he's at 2,100 yards, all-time leading rusher. He just clipped one of our former Wolves that's now at Central Washington, Blake Borup, who's an outstanding running back and linebacker. And tonight Miles will extend his record.
He will. He will. He is going to get some more yards, and I would love to see him get one more game to, again, continue to extend that a little bit further. High school football, the records go through the whole season. Doesn't matter if it's postseason or not. And so Miles is going to get that opportunity tonight for sure to extend. And if things go our way, we'll see a little bit more for sure. So,
if I could just touch on one more thing for Miles, Bothel's head coach, Coach Boehner, does a weekly podcast, and I went and watched listened to the podcast following the week they played us. And he also honored or recognized Miles as being one of the team's leading defenders. And I believe Miles is, in fact, the leading tackler
he is
on the team, which is good and bad for the Eastlake Wolves. You and I have talked about this. We have mixed feelings about it, of the number of two-way players. And they're such good athletes. We're talking Division I quality athletes, but they're on the field a lot during the game. And Coach Boehner's exact words were, every time a player hits the turf, it takes a toll on him throughout the game. But Miles has done it all season, so there's not an element that he can't do it or he's not capable. He has done it. It is a long game that's going to be physical, but Bellevue was physical, Bothell was physical, Mount Si, all the Tumwater, all these games. I really think we match up good against these guys.
And when you really look at Miles, right? I mean, it's like Miles is fast. He's not like the fastest kid on the field. He's shifty. And his ability, and I think why he has 44.5 tackles this year, is his ability to close the gap, right? I mean, he's playing a strong safety position, but his burst speed is very fast, and he can close that gap. And he runs downhill everywhere he goes.
And his pad level's low on top of that.
And his pad level is low. So, I mean, he comes in at, I think 5'8" is generous, and so he is a low center of gravity. I think that's also what makes him difficult to tackle is, he has a very low center of gravity and he keeps those wheels turning and has the ability to kind of slow down the play when he gets into the kind of the chum of the pile. So, so I mean, just looking out, cheerleaders are here. I think the theme for the student section is a fluorescent theme. And so we just saw the band march across. Good to have our band here, and they're also in a fluorescent theme instead of their normal band outfit. So that's pretty awesome tonight. So,
Jeremy, one other thing I'd like to touch on that I feel like is part of our running game that hasn't been fully exploited, and I sense there's more to it tonight, but Ryder Barry Smith has demonstrated outstanding athleticism with his legs this year, and we saw against Skyline him scramble. We saw him last week take one to the house, I think the week before.
I mean, Ryder's coming in with 153 yards of rushing and 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
Over 100. I mean, if you look at that statistically, that's a threat, right? I mean, a guy that has the ability to score with his legs in your backfield is something that we're super excited to have.
And I think early in the season when you're settling in, you don't want your quarterback getting banged up, but when you have to put all your chips on the table and you're all in for a game like this, then I think we might see a little bit more of Ryder running, whether it's a pass play where he's got the option to run or if it's a called fake handoff to Miles and Ryder's running. He's got a good backup. Jared Gill's a good backup.
Yeah.
But Ryder has shown toughness throughout this season. He's been hit hard. Energizer Bunny keeps ticking, and he does great things for this Eastlake offense.
Absolutely. And I think, last week was a good test, right? I mean, we got up on Newport. It gave Coach a chance to go put JR in. JR has seen a couple of key downs, but has not seen a lot of snaps this year. When he has, he's done great.
He has, yeah.
We saw last week. He also did it with his legs. He did it,
There was one bad snap. There's a photo that Rob Veal got of him. He looks like Michael Jordan dunking. He's way up in the air. He caught the bad snap and was able to make a few yards out of it. It was a great play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jeremy, I think you're going to transition on to look at some other film here. What are we looking at?
Yeah, let me. I was going to pull up. I mean,
this is Mead in the gray here, the gray helmets and the black shirts. Looks like number 6 is in at quarterback, who's Landon Thomas. So we've seen both number 11 and number 6.
Right. And
Was
so
that a touchdown, a pass, or a run?
we'll replay that here because it started kind of midstream. So let me.
The Mead Panthers. Based on our research, Jeremy, this is the first time these two teams have played each other.
It is.
Unless it was long ago. Eastlake was.
No, I mean, it is the first time.
It is the first time
It
officially.
is the first time. I'm having a little bit of internet issue here in the booth, so let me see if I can get.
Switch over to us here.
Yeah, so we'll go switch. Sorry.
So while Jeremy's catching up on that, just kind of giving you if you're from out of town, maybe you're out of state. It rained here hard last weekend, rained a couple days this week, but it cleared out yesterday. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Today it is absolutely gorgeous outside. There's a slight little cloud cover over right now, but mostly blue skies. The field is going to be completely dry. There's been a little bit of a wind blowing through, just enough to get any moisture out of here. So if I look at both of these teams in terms of snapping the ball, handling the ball as a ball carrier, throwing the ball, the weather could not be better for a passing team today. And in warm-ups, the Eastlake Wolves have headed back to the locker room here with about 21 minutes until the game begins. Mead is still out here doing a PAT on the north end zone on our left. But it looks like both teams are very comfortable throwing the ball. And like Jeremy's talked about all pregame is we've expected both teams to run the ball, but they're certainly capable of throwing the ball. And as we come into this game and look at what is going to be the difference in this game, from my perspective, first and foremost, it's going to be turnovers. It's limiting any fumbles and creating any interceptions or limiting any interceptions. Turnovers are step one. And then I think it's the basics. I think both of these teams have athletes, so it's going to come down to blocking and tackling. I love Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and he talks about defense. And he talks about how the essence of defense is pursuit and tackling. And I really think that's what we're talking about here is the defense hustling to the ball and making tackles. And the same for Mead. We don't know what we'll see out of them. I suspect they're going to stack the box against Miles Johnson and Ryder Berry-Smith. But if Ryder's able to get rid of the ball and play catch with his split ends on the far left and the far right and even take an opportunity to seam route if it presents itself, I think that's really what will happen for Eastlake to be successful. The defense is going to get stops, but I think if it comes down to turnovers, blocking and tackling, that Eastlake's going to have a good day today.
So I'm having some technical difficulties, so I think
I covered as good as I could for you there.
No, that's good. That's good. I appreciate it. Our executive producer, Sean Crandall's trying to help me out a little bit, but nonetheless, I think we're generally good. You know, I don't know that I'm going to get any more of the clips going here, so I think that's fine. We're running about 20 minutes, and if we get it back up live, here, you can cover for me for a second.
And by the way, all season we've had the live cast. As we get into the postseason, we're not sure what we're going to be allowed to do or not be able to do. But tonight we've got we need student involvement, and we've got Emilio here with us as helping out in the booth with videography and AV action here with Sean Crandall and myself. Our main man, Sean Goldie, who's running the Huddle video, just joined us in the booth here. And we've got a great team up here in the booth. I can't say enough good things about everyone up here in the booth. The energy all season. We've formed, stormed, normed, and performed. And we're at our performance peak. And I'm kind of sad that the season's coming to an end because I feel like we're just catching our stride.
We say that, Dave, and very shortly we'll be back for lacrosse, and we'll be hitting you twice a week.
Yeah, at least.
With a lot of the same crew here, so that will be fun. So I think maybe what we do is we'll go run the intro. I have the intro that I produce for this, and then see what happens here. And so we'll be right back. We're going to go to our live intro if we can, and then you and I will be back right after that. So we will talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us with the at the Den. And Dave and Jeremy will be back here in a few minutes.
Season. It's playoff football right here at home. The stakes have never been higher for your Eastlake Wolves. The Wolves, fresh off a dominant 50-10 win in the first round, are back on familiar turf and locked in. They've bulldozed through opponents, showing locker room resolve all season long. Standing opposite them, the Mead Panthers, a Spokane power with a 6-3 regular season record, battle-tested and ready to shock the home crowd. Two teams, one dream. One will keep playing, the other will pack up and go home. The Wolves bring the home crowd howl, the packed stands, the crimson and black wave ready to crash. The Panthers bring aggression, confidence, and the quiet certainty of a team that believes they belong. This is Wolves Football Network, live from the Den at Eastlake Stadium. And now to your hosts, David and Jeremy.
Good afternoon, Wolves fans. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. And welcome to Sammamish, Washington, and those watching from Sammamish and beyond. And welcome to the Woods. You know, obviously, I'm Jeremy Budish, and alongside me, Dave Oliphant on the play-by-play, and we are live here at Eastlake High School for a thrilling WIAA 4A round of 32 postseason matchup on this lovely Saturday afternoon in November. It's pretty amazing. Today's clash is a do-or-die battle. The Eastlake Wolves, 5-4, host the Mead Panthers, 6-3. Mead is from Spokane, as we talked about in the pregame show. And this game is a winner advances, loser goes home showdown. One team will punch their ticket today for the round of 16, and the other team is going to pack up their gear and watch football the rest of the year. It's high school playoff football at its finest. Cross-state matchups colliding under the sunny November sky with everything on the line. Let's start with the home Wolves. In his first year at the helm, head coach Greg Hurd has instilled grit and growth in this pack, turning a challenging regular season into postseason promise. Eastlake finished 4-5 overall, 2-3 in Kinco Crown, and navigated a brutal slate that included heart-pounding rivalries and comebacks. They opened with a tough road loss to Williamsfield, who's a team from Arizona down in Southern California. We bounced back with a 39-20 rout of Gig Harbor, and then claimed key league wins over Woodinville and Mount Si. The Wolves did have losses to powerhouses like Tumwater, Bellevue, and Bothell, and that tested their resolve, but the Wolves roared into the playoffs with a dominant 50-10 play-in victory over Newport last week. Eastlake's offense has been explosive, averaging 28 points per game behind the balanced attack. Senior quarterback Ryder Barry-Smith has been a dual threat, 117 of 194 passing for 1,346 yards and 13 touchdowns with a long of 60. Plus, as just stated, 153 yards rushing. He's connected with dynamic receiving core, including senior Chase Hanchka, 32 catches. Senior Landon Johnson, 28 catches. Plus, Landon has 407 kick return yards with a 75-yard long in the game against Williamsfield. But the engine to this game and this team is senior running back Miles Johnson. As we talked about in the pregame, Miles is a two-way beast with 173 carries for 1,120 yards and 11 rushing TDs, plus 13 receptions for 123 yards and 2 scores. Defensively, Mild leads the defense with 44.5 tackles. He's joined right behind him by junior Jack Steiner with 37 and Adam Barrick with 37.5 tackles. And Barrett Bratland, a junior, with 29 tackles and 1 sack. The front 7 for the Wolves has racked up some sacks. Logan Karsh, Jack Devine, and a few others. While the secondary thrives on turnovers, special teams shines with Landon's electric returns and junior Ben Byman's amazing kicking leg. And also 25 of 26 PATs and 3 of 6 field goals. This is a resilient squad that is ready to defend their home turf. Now, the Mead Panthers. And Wolves fans, buckle up for a full circle moment. Hailing from Spokane's Greater Spokane League, Mead earned their spot with a gritty 5-3 regular season, 4th in the league, and secured an at-large bid and advanced via a 28-17 play-in win over Shadow Park last week. Leading the charge is first-year head coach Kyle Snell, a Spokane native and veteran sideline leader who knows these woods better than most, because from 21 to 23, Snell was the head coach right here at Eastlake, guiding the Wolves to back-to-back Kingco League titles and an overall record of 20-4. That's pretty amazing. This is a homecoming of sorts for Snell, who built a high-powered spread option attack at Eastlake. But that was 2 coaching staffs ago. Snell knows the stars on the team, but he's never coached them. His move to Mead came after a successful 2024 stint at Lewis and Clark, also in the Spokane area. But tonight he returns to the stadium where he once celebrated championships, now leading the Panthers with the same discipline and adaptability he brought to the Wolves. Snell's refocused mentality shown after losses to Cheney and Gonzaga Prep, praising his team's work ethic and saying every game is new, a new opportunity. Talk about a storyline. This isn't just East versus West. It's mentor from former home legacy versus legacy. Let's talk a little bit about Mead's offense. They hum with a balanced, and they outscore their foes 265 to 107 in league play. Senior running back Max Fagau powers the ground game with 142 carries and 892 yards and 12 TDs. Well, senior QB Landon Thomas, potentially injured, but impactful, 112 of 180 with 1,456 yards and 15 TDs. And Evan Drew, provided aerial threats. Receivers like Lee Colum, 42 catches, 682 yards and 8 TDs. And senior Travell Jones, 45 catches, 612 yards and 6 TDs, stretched the field. Defensively, they're opportunistic, allowing under 200 yards per game, with 15 interceptions on the year. Senior tight end and linebacker Garrett Miller had 68 tackles and 8 sacks, 2 interceptions. Junior tight end linebacker Kyle Kilman, 55 tackles, 3 interceptions. Anchor the swarm, senior kicker Donovan Daminio added reliability of 8 of 9 field goals with a long of 41. So key matchups tonight, Eastlake's explosive passing, Barry Smith to Hanchkin Johnson versus Mead's ball-hawking secondary. We talked about that in the pregame. Will the Miles Johnson hammer be able to run against the stout front 7 of Mead? Will Landon Johnson or Miles Johnson's returns flip the field for the Eastlake Wolves? And who gets the emotional edge? Coach Hurd's current Wolves or Coach Snell's return to his old stomping grounds? It's East versus West, grit versus grit, past versus present. Who wants it more? It's a playoff game for all of us to enjoy. So as we go into the regular programming, I'd like to take a moment to thank our incredible sponsors for your continued support. Kinson & Kinson Homes, Eastside and Seattle's home experts. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times. Sherrill Hill Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. LBM Travel Incorporated, let Leanne be your expert guide to travel and savings. Pape Material Handling, thank you for your support of Eastlake Wolves football. And Bradley Appliances, helping families on the East Side with trusted appliances and great services. We appreciate each of you for making nights like this possible. So settle in, Wolves Nation. Grab your snacks, turn up your volume. Get ready for postseason showdown that promises fireworks, emotion, history. It's Eastlake versus Mead, and a legendary coach coming home. This is high school football at its best. Live from Sammamish on your home for Eastlake football. Go Wolves!
Well, great job, Jeremy. The Eastlake Wolves have just taken the field in their black helmets, black jerseys, and white pants. The captains are at midfield with Coach Hurd. The Mead Panthers are lined up on the far side of the field. And the Eastlake cheerleaders and players are lining up here with 5.5 minutes before the game begins. Looks like we will have the national anthem here in just a moment. What a perfect day for football in Sammamish, Washington. I've coached for years, and you could not ask for better November weather. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think you get any better than this on November 8th in the state of Washington. So I'm pretty excited. I know the fans are excited, and hopefully we can fill the stands up a little more.
All right, we'll pause for the national anthem. Well, actually, they're taking the captains out here, so while the captains are headed out, we can talk about them. Number 3, Jacob Kim. 64, Finn Waldron. 56, Henry Volpone. And number 20, Miles Johnson. For the Mead Panthers, we've got number 2, Max Fagau. We already heard about him. Number 99, Kenny Hume. I believe it was 99. 58, Sean Jones, offensive and defensive lineman. And I'm missing some of the other numbers. It is indeed 99. 99 is a sophomore. And I'm missing the other player in front of Henry Volpone. There's one more captain for the Mead Panthers who are here in their gray helmets, gray pants, and white jerseys. Their school colors are kind of a navy and yellow. And it looks like they might have a hint of navy and yellow on their helmets, but largely in gray and white today.
Snuck away, Dave. I'm back. So the officiating crew tonight, referee Paul Rogbaugh, umpire Terry Granillo, linesman Gary Olmstead, line judge Michael Todd, and back judge Heaven Barnes.
And I'll say it is Greg Olmstead. Greg had a son that was an Eastlake alumni, actually.
That's good. And they're always looking for officials. We talk about that from time to time. As we get into playoffs, it gets easier to get officials. But if you ever had a desire to be an official for
Eastlake will receive an attack in this direction.
Pacific Northwest Football Officials is the organization. And so
Eastlake will receive on the south end zone to the north. And the captains head to the sideline.
So we're going to take a pause for the national anthem.
The national anthem will be played by the Eastlake Band under the direction of Luke Dahlberg.
excellent Star Spangled Banner played by the Eastlake Band. Jeremy, I've been around Eastlake for a while, and I'll tell you, this is one of the best bands I've seen Eastlake have. I remember years where the band at Eastlake wasn't that strong, and this year they've been fantastic.
They have been fantastic. And
performance at halftime.
As we come into Veterans Day week, a little bit special today for, the national anthem. So we got our cheerleaders down front leading the student section in a I Believe cheer, which is always fun. So thank you to our cheerleaders for being here today and supporting the Eastlake squad, as always. Sure, they're also happy that it's not pouring rain. As we wait, I give a plug for it every week, Dave. Please like this. Hit the little thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
Give us some love.
Give us some loves. Thank you.
All right, so back to receive for the Wolves are number 20, Miles Johnson, number 23, Landon Johnson. 4, Jack Steiner, the fullback. 34, James Gokrauger, and 26, Adam Barrick are the fullbacks. 22, Finn Hanna, and 10, Ariv Doshi, sitting on the 40-yard line. And the front line is 32, Rory Johnson, 27, Barrett Bratlin, 17, Gideon Birchfield, and on the far side, last but not least, Blake Pichar. And here, I can't see the number of the kickers. That 16, Donovan Domino, and he kicks it deep. It's not going to get to the end zone. Landon fields it on the 18, and he's got room to run, gets across the 30, and the Wolves will take over on the 32-yard line. Good field position to start the game. Interesting kick there. I've seen some kicks into the end zone from Mead, and that was barely inside the 20-yard line, but it was well placed. It nearly went out of bounds. Landon did a good job fielding it and picking up a few yards without contact. So the ball's actually spotted on the 33. Eastlake takes over 1st and 10. So look at this, Jeremy. We've got Colby Johnson in the backfield with Miles Johnson.
We have not seen that yet this year.
We've got 3 Johnsons on the field, and they give it to Colby, first play of the game, and he runs through defenders for a nice gain of about 5 on 1st down.
Interesting. So we're going to make them adjust straight away to a new look, which we have not seen yet this year. Colby, Miles going out like it's a little bit of a bubble screen, and they just hand it to Colby and right up the middle. So that's an interesting call by Coach Hurd.
It is, and for those of you that don't know, Colby is the fastest player on the field today. He runs a 10.800, Division I athlete going to play at Colorado next year. Landon Johnson in motion. He gives it to Miles. A lot of pressure up the middle. He's going to be wrapped up for a loss on the 36-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Wolves offense. Starting offensive line for the Wolves today at center is 77, Paxton Jacobson. 62, left guard, is senior Mason Flynn. Next to him is 64, Finn Waldron, the stud 2A player. On the right-hand side, it's 56, Captain Henry Volpone, and 70, Brady Painter, also a senior. Hanska and Kim on the far side. It's a pass. The snap's off. Barry Smith's got time. A lot of time. Looks downfield. Nearly throws it away. Ball's knocked away by number 1. It was intended for Jacob Kim. I thought the defender may have got there early.
Looked like he was there
but there
early.
is no laundry on the field, and the Eastlake punt team will come on with a 3 and out.
So first team all-conference punter Jack Steiner coming on the field. We'll see what this... Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. Watching the replay, it wasn't, if it was early, it was milliseconds early, so good coverage by Mead.
Jeremy, what I do like about that first drive is trying to keep the ball productive, but not in Miles' hands on every single play. And a good punt by Steiner, the all-conference punter. Rory Johnson picks it up on the 31. So now we'll see the Mead offense for the first time as the Eastlake defense takes the field.
So not really how we wanted to come out of the blocks, but like you said, something new. We saw some production there. They definitely feel like they are keying on Miles, which if I was Coach Snell, I would be keying on Miles. So not a huge surprise there.
So in at defensive line for the Wolves, 18 senior Ryder Paterno, Vopone and Waldron, the two-way players at defensive tackle, and James Ort, the defensive end on the far side. Quick snap, handoff to number 2, and it's going to be brought down by number 4, Steiner, and 26, Barrick.
Like 12
gain
yards.
of 12 on first down. Just an inside zone. It looks like a player for Mead, number 49, down on the play.
Brought down by Steiner and Barrick.
Linebackers in the game for Eastlake, 4, Steiner, 26, Barrick, who we just mentioned. 44, Colby Johnson. The senior's been banged up a little this year, but an outstanding athlete. Another handoff to number 2 up the middle. He runs into his own.
And a flag.
And there's a late flag. So number 2, Max Fagau, we expect to see quite a bit today. Looks like a good runner. Ran into his own blocker there. Went to the ground under his own power. Got back up, and a flag was thrown after he went down. So this will be interesting if it's holding. I can't imagine that it's against Eastlake, and the ball will be marched
Holding.
backwards.
Offense number 22, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
As you watch that replay,
first
it
down.
looked like one of the Mead guys had a kind of a bear hug on one of the Wolves towards the back of the pile, and pretty easy to spot, by the official, the back judge there.
So check this out, Jeremy. I just noticed 28, Jackson Wheeler, in at linebacker for the Wolves on the far side. He's a junior.
We haven't seen him
False
since
start.
Gig Harbor.
James Ort came across, but I believe he was drawn by the tight end or wingback on the far side of the field. Officials will meet. We will be quiet while they make the call.
Yes.
Defensive backs, 22 Finn Hanna, 23 Landon Johnson, and 20 Miles Johnson.
Before the snap, false start. Offense number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, a fortunate play for the Wolves. Mead is now in first and long, 23. We'll see if they continue to run the ball. Number 6 is in at quarterback. We'll make note that's Landon Thomas. Shift and then a motion. They do hand it off to 2 again. He's their horse. Runs through some tackles, but Colby Johnson able to get his ankles after a gain of about 6 or 7 on first down. So it's going to bring up second and long, second and about 16 or 17. So Jackson Wheeler actually broke his collarbone in the Tumwater game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was a shoulder joint, not necessarily a collarbone, but a shoulder injury in the Gig Harbor game, right?
Jet sweep to number 1, who also plays defense, and a nice tackle. There's a flag on the play right at the feet of Finn Hanna. Looks like Colby Johnson and Finn both in on the tackle. I have to imagine that's in the vicinity of holding again. I didn't see anything that could be Eastlake.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, it looked like maybe one of their linemen was holding number 18.
It is on Mead, so they're asking Coach Hurd if he wants to take the penalty or decline it. Barrett Bratlin will check in the game for Wheeler. So I love this.
Holding. Offense, number 68. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, third down.
So no gain on the play. Eastlake will decline the 10-yard penalty because it brings up 3rd and 17. If they would have accepted the penalty, it would have pushed the ball back 10 yards, but it would have been second and 27. And I think I like 3rd and 15. I agree with this call. So Bratlin and Miles are deep. Quarterback looks at throw. No, it's a quarterback draw, and he gets nowhere. He's brought down at the line of scrimmage by James Ort and Ryder Paterno. Both of the defensive ends are right there. Outstanding first defensive series by Eastlake.
And helped a little bit by Mead's missteps for sure. I bet Coach Snell is not happy on the other side. He's a guy that's about discipline. So
I'm not questioning Coach Snell's play calling, but on 3rd and 15 to call a quarterback draw, to me, shows a little bit of lack of confidence in the passing game.
And not a great punt.
The punt, I might catch it, Jeremy.
Oh, took out the third cheerleader to the right almost. So hopefully we got cheerleader insurance.
So with a couple penalties, Mead did get 1 first down.
They did.
And then stalled after that. Eastlake will take over on Mead's side of the field here with 8:21 to go in the first quarter.
That's definitely the statement we wanted to make on defense. So I think we came out and made our statement. Again, helped by Mead and some of their missteps, but now let's see if we can capitalize on this.
So Landon Johnson looks to be guarded one-on-one on the near side. It's Mason King, Ort, and Hanska on the far side. Miles behind Barry Smith. Barry Smith looks to the far side of the field, throws to Hanska. He slipped coming out of the break a little bit. The ball hit his hands, and he's not able to come up with it.
And that probably would have been 4 yards at best because he was diving for the ball. So
I still thought Chase was going to catch it.
Yeah, I did too.
Not a bad throw by Barry Smith. Chase just slipped a little bit. Here's what I do like. I'm going to speak this into existence. We had trips on the far side of the field. Landon here was guarded man-to-man against number 3, who has a cast on his hand. Handoff up the middle to Miles on second down. Miles cuts it up for a few. It's going to bring up third and about 6.
Yeah.
Good push by the Eastlake offensive line there. Number 2, the starting running back playing defense. So number 6, who is the quarterback's playing safety. Number 2, the running back's playing linebacker. And number 1, we saw have a jet sweep there playing slot. So just like Eastlake, Mead's got their athletes playing both ways.
They do. And I think, that's what you got to do.
Barry Smith looks, he's going to take a shot. He's got a lot of time. Now he gets downfield, and the receiver is hit. I cannot believe a flag didn't come in. Mason King, the intended receiver, was hit well before the ball got there. Great time for Barry Smith, using his athleticism.
And that just became a scramble play, right? I mean, the receivers are all kind of scrambling. Coverages are blown, and somebody's just trying to make something happen there.
Jeremy, Coach Hurd is leaving the offense on the field. So with a 4th and 5, the Eastlake offense stays on the field. Landon Johnson and Jacob Kim on the near side. Hanska and Mason King on the far side. Barry Smith looks to throw. Doesn't like his first option. He's got his second. Hanska catches it on 4th down. First down, Eastlake.
Love it.
Number 15, Chase Hanska, the senior, comes up with a huge ball. Dropped the first throw his way earlier in the drive. And Barry Smith looked to the near side for his first option. Didn't like what he saw. Or he was looking off the defense and then throws a great ball.
So Chase coming in 32 catches, 377 yards this season. So he's been one of the platoon of receivers for the Wolves.
Your boy, Budish checks in the game with Ort on the far side. Heavy run formation. Indeed, Miles runs that way. He follows them, picks up a couple, and he's swallowed up by a pack of Mead Panthers.
Looks like he's going to get 1 or 2.
I do love that formation when Ort and Budish come in. We've had great success running behind both of them.
I would agree.
Going back to that 4th down conversion, first of all, bold to go for it at midfield there. I love Coach putting the ball in Barry Smith's hands and giving him a shot. He had great protection on every pass that he's had so far. I like that going forward in the game, but Barry Smith connecting with senior Chase Hanska, who's just had a great season, and now it's 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. Barry Smith rolls out to our side, throws it to Landon in the flats. Landon slips.
That's interesting. I mean, it seems like there's been a lot of early traction issues on a dry night. That's something that I don't know that I would have expected, but we're going to have to clean that up a little bit.
A little bit of the nerves and just settling down a little bit and running good, crisp routes. It's possible the field's got some residual moisture on it, but 3rd down and 9 for the Wolves here. Kim, King, and Landon on the near side. Hanska by himself on the far side. Again, I like this man-to-man coverage on the backside on the short side. Barry Smith, no, he's looking to the near side. He's got Landon Johnson, who catches it
off of a tipped.
A circus catch on the 15-yard line. Great defense by Mead. Barry Smith just threads the needle, and Landon Johnson, great.
I mean, great
concentration.
Number 3 thought he made that play. Number 3 is Luke
Marchesone.
Thank you, Dave. But yeah, what a catch.
All right, Colby Johnson's back in the backfield for the Wolves. So there's 2 back set, Miles and Colby, and Ort on the near side. Miles motions out to the far side. They give it to Colby again. He cuts it up, and he's still on his feet. Colby battling. He's going to lose a couple yards, but I like the effort out of number 44 on that play.
Yeah, he just kind of gets stood up at the line of scrimmage and bounces off.
Good defense by me there. Second and long for the Wolves. Good drive for the Eastlake offense here if we can keep it going. Jeremy, I like this matchup with Hanska on the far side or with Landon when they've got the man-to-man. Hanska is man-to-man on the far side of the field. Barry Smith is looking Hanska's way. No, he doesn't. He keeps it. Throws a dart to Landon Johnson. Touchdown, Eastlake.
Yeah, so
Number 23 catches the ball inside the 5 and makes a defender miss and finds the end zone for the
fourth
time this year. He's also, I believe, ran it in a time or two. But Landon Johnson, the senior, this is his first year playing tackle football for the Eastlake Wolves. He played youth football and has focused on lacrosse. He's a Division I lacrosse commit to the NCAA Division I national champions, the Cornell University. But tonight, Landon just scored the first touchdown of the game, and the Wolves have 6 on the board. And Byman and Gill look to make it 7, and Byman boots it through the all-conference kicker.
Makes it to the track, it looks like. So Byman, again, with a really big leg. We're going to see him here. Last week, he was kicking it almost through the end zone. So hopefully, that we've talked about it. I mean, that's such a weapon in high school football. You know, the return game is a real thing in high school football, and to have a guy that can put it in the end zone that makes him take it at the 20 is as good as you can get.
And I'll note number 1, senior Riley Hill, who tore his ACL in the summer camp, still fighting back. I'm not sure he's 100%, but he's the long snapper in there doing a great job on the PATs. Riley Rue, we're proud of you.
I was talking to Riley last week at the lacrosse tournament, and he thinks maybe if we make it through this week, next week's his true comeback. We'll see if that's true or not, but Riley has been working so hard to get back out on the field, and he's, like you said, long snapping, so he's contributing. Be great to see him. So
kickoff team here: Hanska, Steiner, King, Rory Johnson, Vandermead, and ball goes into the end zone, and that will be a touchback, and that's what you get with an all-conference kicker in high school football.
As a sophomore.
Ben Byman, we love you, buddy. Great job, number 19. And if you look at him, he looks like a linebacker. Well, guess what he is? We might recruit him for that next year, but
he's a great baseball player, super nice person. Like we met with him one of the first weeks, and fun to talk to, and very focused on kicking. But yeah, we would love to get him in the backfield on defense, because he is a what is he coming in at? He's saying 5'11". I think
195.
195.
195 sophomore is not small.
No, and I would guess him to be at 6+, but.
Okay, Mead comes out at a 4-receiver set, tailbacks offset, handoff on the inside on first down. He's got a little bit of a seam, and he's still on his feet. Gain of about 9 on first down.
And that's Max Fagau. Again, we talked about him in the pregame. He is their stud running back.
49, who came out injured last drive, checks back in the game. Looks like he's a bigger blocking fullback of sorts.
So Fagau, 892 yards, 12 TDs on the season. So
solid year. Another handoff to 2. He cuts it right up the middle, and Colby Johnson lands on him, but not before he picks up about 7 on the play.
And that's what we were talking about, pregame is, we can't give them that 5-7.
And here we go, hurry up offense. Yeah, we can't give them 5 to 7. You're right. Eastlake defense put some pressure on, and there he is, Colby Johnson. We're calling his name a lot tonight. It feels like it's great to have his presence felt. We felt his presence, I think, for the first time. We saw him against Skyline, but home against Mount Si, he was shadowing the quarterback, Stiles, and every time Stiles would scramble, as soon as he got within a radius of Colby, he would slide.
And Bratlin came off the field.
Bratlin comes off and Wheeler comes on. So Wheeler, 28, the outside linebacker on the near side. Wolves in zone. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. and he's got room to run. Miles tracks him down, tries to get the ball out. The ball does come out once it gets out of bounds. But again, another 10-yard run for the Mead Panthers.
Yeah, so they're going to give him the first down on that.
Last drive, Mead looked good. They just imploded with penalties. They had a couple holding penalties and a false start. Mead.
So 3:18, clock is running as we tick through the first quarter here.
Jeremy, when big number 49 checks in, you can see him by his hair on the near side here. I have to imagine they like to run the ball behind him. I'm going to say it's a run right up the middle behind him. And indeed it is. It's a new running back. This is 28 who has the ball. This is Hayden Coons. He's a junior for the Mead Panthers. Brady Painter checks in a defensive tackle for Volpone there. The linemen for Eastlake rotate. So Wheeler and Adam Barrick are at middle linebacker, trying to pick up where Colby's at. A little confusion in the backfield. The quarterback runs into his own player. Jack Steiner brings him down. There's a late flag. This is going to be interesting. Ort, number 11, was standing around 55 on Mead, and the official didn't like what he saw. I suspect this is going to be something unsportsmanlike. We'll pause here while we wait for the official's call.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay.
Very late holding
Second
call
down.
there. I'm surprised it was called that late, but Eastlake benefits from it. Bring up 2nd and 16 for the Mead Panthers. Jeremy, how tall is number 20 on the near side? Garrett Miller. We don't have specs, but Ryder Paterno at number 18 on Eastlake is all of 6'5", and 20 might be taller. It's going to go deep. Number 6, it's a duck. Ball's up in the air. Landon Johnson tips it, catches it. Landon tipped it one-handed to himself, and after he has a touchdown last drive, Landon Johnson just has the game's first turnover for the Eastlake Wolves.
Landon's first for the...
Check out this replay. The ball just came out of the quarterback's hand bad. Total missed throw, and Landon one-hands it to himself.
Again, what a heads-up play, like just high concentration, right? Like you said, he tips it, he grabs it, and he goes to the ground with it. Not that different than his long reception that he had.
Circus catch, touchdown, and now an interception in the last 5 minutes for Landon Johnson. So on the near side, we've got Landon still on the field.
And we've talked about it.
King and Hanska. Is coach going to run the ball or take a shot? He's going to take a shot on first down to Chase Hanska. He's got his guy. Oh, great defense by number 9, Lee Colomb. If Chase comes down with that, I think he walks into the end zone.
I do too. And
it was a beautiful ball. And number 9 made a good play on it.
Here's the replay. So, I mean, number 9
closed
behind
on him,
yeah.
just a little, but Chase had a chance at that. Good defense by the Panthers.
Yeah.
I love taking a shot on first down after a big play like that. All right, Wolves in a 4 receiver set. Doshi on the far side. King, Kim, and Johnson on the near side. Miles in the backfield. Miles has the ball. Miles goes outside, cuts it back up the middle, gets across the 43 near the 44. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Eastlake offense.
So Chase is back in. Doshi comes out. Number 1, Tice Tuggle just left the field. He's a little shaken up on the Mead side. So
Wolves in a 4 receiver set again. Landon on the near side by himself. Ball is fake to Miles, and they go to Landon. He's open. Landon Johnson catches it and goes out of bounds on the 16-yard line. And Ryder Barry Smith's having a day, but Landon Johnson is the star of the show right now.
It's interesting. I mean, we talked about it a little bit These lacrosse kids and the baseball kids know what championship play is like, right? They won a state championship last year as lacrosse players, and the baseball guys went to the championship game. So we have guys that know how to play championship sports, which is a huge advantage in a game like this. And Landon Johnson is one of those lacrosse guys, as you said, a D1 committee. He's a heck of an athlete and having a heck of a day.
So check it out. Checking in for Landon is Blake Pichar on the near side, number 16. And it's a handoff to Miles. No, it's a fake. Barry Smith keeps it himself. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage there. And Landon will come back in. Pickup of 1 on the play.
On the tackle. Gain of a yard, it's 2nd and 9.
Wolves come out in a 4-receiver set. Landon and Mason King to the near side. Jacob Kim and Hanchka to the far side. Miles behind Barry Smith. Barry Smith, another fake to Miles. Throws it to Landon for a catch, but he won't gain anything on the play.
Unless we really get going, that is probably close to the last play. Well, maybe get one more off. 32 seconds left in the quarter.
So that'll bring up 3rd and long. Good to see the Eastlake student section, the band, and the cheerleaders here all.
I'm guessing that coach, the play clock's got a few more seconds, so I think we're going to see this go to the quarter and flip the field, Dave, and see what we got on the other side of the field.
That's the end of the first period. It's Eastlake 7, Mead 0.
All right, so end of the first, Eastlake 7, Panthers 0. Reset the clock, flip the field. We're heading towards the end zone with the scoreboard, which is one of my favorite end zones to go score in. So we'll see if they can make me happy.
I like all end zones.
I know you do, but I mean, if you're gonna have a favorite, the scoreboard side's gonna be mine. So
that's awesome.
And what a first quarter for Barry Smith and Landon Johnson. I mean, Landon with a circus catch, we talked about it, with a touchdown, and then that interception. Again, we got a lot of guys that are playing both ways. And
Landon's got at least 4 catches already.
He does. But the great thing is, like, you're seeing it with Bratland and Wheeler. You know, we've gotten healthier the last couple weeks. We have that relief valve, which we really haven't had, which is awesome. And it really, when you're in postseason football, that is such a big deal, right? I mean, high school football, any football is a game of attrition. And if you can stay healthy, or if you can get healthy, you become a bigger weapon.
So let's stay with the player at the top. Landon Johnson is defended man-to-man on the far side of the field. Mason, Kim, and Hanchka on the near side. Miles motions out of the backfield. Barry Smith looks a screen. He's just going to keep it and run it himself. No, he throws it late to Miles. Barry Smith gets hit in the midsection. A late flag comes onto the field. For a second, I thought they might call roughing the passer. Now I think they're going to call ineligible receiver downfield, Jeremy. It was a designed screenplay. Miles was a decoy motioning to the near side. It looked to throw it back to Landon on the far side. It was very well defended.
From Eastlake Cross Country News, Aubrey Willems just took first place in state.
So here comes the call from the officiating crew.
Ineligible receivers downfield. Offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
So the field goal team will come on to the field. Ball is on the 16-yard line. The ball will be spotted on the 23. So it's a 33-yard field goal from the far hash.
Left-footed kicker.
Benjamin Byman.
Wind's kind of west to
good
east.
Good snap, good hold, and he boots it. If it's straight, it's good. It is no good. It must have been just wide. The ball landed, I cannot tell where it missed. from this angle.
I couldn't either. It looked good from here.
From
but
the left hash and where it landed, it must have been just wide. So
That's
in
a-
high school football, the ball kicked out of the back of the end zone, the Panthers will take over on their own 20.
And that's a tough kick for a left-footed kicker, right? Left hash, probably not the preferred side for Byman. You know, the wind is swirling at that end of the end zone, which is a little bit wild. Like typically, that's a very still end of the field. So
It was a beautiful kick off the turf. I'm disappointed it didn't go through.
And talk about lost opportunity, right? I mean, the interception took that drive, down, and to not be able to convert any points on that is disappointing.
So number 6 quarterback Landon Thomas still calling the signals here, and he'll hand it to his guy, number 2, weaving in and out of traffic. You can see number 2's dreadlocks, and he looks fast. Miles Johnson dives at his feet, and he stays on his feet out to midfield. Miles will get credit for the tackle, but not before a 30-yard gain for the Mead Panthers on first down.
And that's where, I mean, you saw one of the Eastlake linemen. I think that was, not sure if that was Finn that grabbed him by the jersey. You're not going to be able to take him down by the jersey. You're going to need to get his legs.
Miles, a little shaken up on the play, was looking to come out, but a sub wasn't ready. And it's another run up the middle to 28. He's wrapped up by Steiner. I'd like to see a few more Wolves in on the pile there. Steiner was kind of left to his own, but only a gain of
4 or 5.
A gain of 4 on first down. That was more than I thought.
Yeah, there's definitely kind of a lack of urgency by the defense on that tackle, and I think for that he got an extra yard or 2 on that play.
Miles does come out of the game. Chase Hanska's in at free safety, number 15. And it's going to be a reverse. The ball's on the ground. James Ort's in the vicinity. It looked like Mead recovered it, but now Black is pointing that they've got the ball. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9. Jeremy, that's one of those plays that, as a coach, you're excited to run a reverse or a counter of sorts. Total miscue there by the Panthers. 2 players ran into each other. The ball
Here comes
popped
the replay
out,
here,
and
Dave.
James Ort and Adam Barrick were in the vicinity. Ort got on the ground first.
Yeah, and it looks like
Good
number
job
20,
by Mead to recover that
number
fumble.
28 for Mead looks like he hopped on
So now
it.
a 3rd and 8 after a huge gain on first down. I'll note number 2's out of the game. 6 drops back deep. Last time he threw was an interception. He's going to draw, and he's going to be sacked by Ryder Paterno at the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark the ball, but Paterno gets credit for the sack.
Yeah. Fourth down.
Jeremy, I feel like this bend but don't break defense, we give up a huge gain or we give up yards, and the next thing you know, we stop them 3 consecutive plays.
And Paterno's had, a 2nd season playing football. He's had a great season.
Back to return is Miles Johnson. Looks
like a
couldn't tell if
Steiner.
it was a fake or a rugby-style kick, and it is a rugby-style kick. The ball's going to go out inside the 20, so a good punt there for Mead. Eastlake will take over with the lead, 7-0, 9:30 to go in the first half here. The round of 32 playoffs, 32 teams left in the state of Washington. These are 2 very evenly matched teams. Last night, looking at the scores, there were no upsets. Every favored team won. And so
Agreed.
you would suspect going into next week, if we win, we will be seated probably around 15th or 16th. We're going to have a tough whoever
like-
wins this game is going to have a tough game next week.
I think you're going to Lake Stevens next week is what it looks like. Right? That's tough back-to-back road games for Mead if they win.
Yes. Hand off to Miles Johnson on first down. Good block by Mason King. Miles will pick up a few on first down.
They are really, really focusing on Miles Johnson, which is great. I think you're seeing that advantage in the passing game with them keying on Miles as much in the run game. So I think if we can keep doing what we're doing and keeping him honest with a few runs here, I think we'll continue to see some production.
Hanchka to the near side by himself. I just love this matchup. Landon to the far side. Ort and Budish are in the backfield. Or Ort at tight end, rather. Budish at wingback. It's going to be a play action to Hanchka. Here we go. He's got space. Another good defensive play by number 9, Lee Colomb. I like to see Ryder just get rid of that a little earlier and throw it a little deeper. I think Chase is going to run under that.
Yeah, so, I mean, Lee Colombe plays on offense. I'm looking at his defensive stat, if I can find it.
He's a junior. He's out
junior.
there having a good night so far defending Hanska. King and Kim will check in the game. Ort and Buddhist come out. So it's 3rd and 5. Jeremy, what do you think here? Barry Smith uses his own legs, maybe a screen, or just a nice little pitch and catch curl route
I would
to
like
one of his
to
receivers.
see a little bit of a, just find some softness in that zone. Or
Ooh, dangerous throw by Barry Smith.
right at the feet of number 50.
And the punt unit will come onto the field for Eastlake. So a 3 and out for the Wolves.
Knocked it down.
Just when I feel like we've got some momentum, this Mead defense steps up, and
I agree.
great coverage there. I
And
thought maybe Barry Smith could have scrambled for a few yards, but
I think he probably could have gotten the first down if he put his mind to it, but he saw something that he liked, and so he took a shot.
I think he felt like maybe Jacob Kim was coming back to the ball a little bit more there.
Jack Steiner in punt formation.
Last week against Newport, we sarcastically celebrated Jack Steiner, the all-conference punter, because Jack is also our backup tailback, a very, very good athlete. When Miles graduates next year, Jack will be one of the key running backs. He's also a starting linebacker.
I guess
But-
you might also see a little bit of Owen Johnson
We
next
might
year.
see a little OJ. We might see some juice.
Miles' younger brother who's on the JV squad. He's dressed today for sure. And we saw a little bit of him last week. So
Not sure why the timeout was called. There was something going on with the punt team, and Eastlake elects to burn their first timeout of the half. Good to see some of the guys in on punt team. 33 senior Caden Eaton in the game here. Long snapper is Paxton Jacobson on the punts. Again, Jack Steiner, the all-conference punter, also a very good athlete. His rugby-style punt. He takes his time. A nice punt for Steiner. Jacob Kim fair catches it on the Eastlake
Right about the
sideline. Ball was
40.
kicked out of bounds, and with a little humor, senior number 3, Jacob Kim, fair caught it. Jeremy, I love seeing our main man, Mr. Plummer, on the sidelines with some sleeves off today.
Yeah.
He's an offensive line coach. Played at Eastlake, went to Eastlake, and he's down flexing the guns on this sunny day. The Mead Panthers will take over on the 40-yard line after the punt from Steiner.
At the 40-yard line.
Painter and Finn Waldron at D tackle. Orton Paterno, the D ends. Jackson,
they're going to hand it off.
number 2, and we just got to get his legs. He's only going to get a couple there.
Yep.
I'm not sure we can give any one Wolf a credit for the tackle there. Brady Painter was there, but a bunch of Wolves were there.
Just checked our viewership. We're at 210. So those of you online watching us, make sure you give us a thumbs up. We'd love 210 likes today. So thank you for watching. If you're watching, if you're in town, please come down and cheer these guys on live. They could use the energy here in the stadium.
Absolutely. It's a great environment today. It's beautiful out. Mead's going to look to pass. Quarterback doesn't like what he sees on first pump. He throws it late. Picks off Landon Johnson. Here he goes. Inside the 30. Down to the 20. Landon Johnson with the second interception of the night. The senior's got a touchdown catch and now 2 interceptions. Let's take a look at that.
What? I mean, he's playing more aggressive than we've seen him play all season. And he almost took that to the house. When he grabbed it, it looked like he was taking it to the house.
I got to be honest, I'm shocked he didn't have a house call on that. Landon's one of the fastest players on the team. Good hustle by the Mead
And not just
offense.
fast, shifty.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
all of the above.
all of the above. So, he might need a little oxygen here at some
He
point.
might. Takes over with great field position at 7:52 to go in the half. Ryder hands it to Miles. Miles sneaks through for a few.
Miles Johnson up the middle.
It's going to bring up 2nd and about 7. Jeremy, you and I last week had a really cool opportunity to sit down with Coach Hurd for about a half hour.
Yep.
And we talked to him about a lot of things. Some of them were tough conversations about how the team was doing. And one thing that he touched on was his disappointment in how we played in the second quarter specifically. And talking about some of the games that were close, Skyline, Tumwater, Bellevue, that was really important to him. So I'm loving to see with this turnover here, if Eastlake can capitalize. Miles on the carry, picks up a yard or so, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long here. If you joined us late, it's been a defensive battle.
It has been.
Mead has ran the ball really well, number 2.
And we're on the left hash, so on 3rd down, we're on the left hash. That sets up a kick from the left hash if we keep it there.
Byman's already seen it once.
He's seen it once. You know, the wind is whistling from left to right, so we'll see what we do here.
4 receiver set on 3rd down and 8. Miles in the backfield. King and Johnson on the far side. He's looking to Hanska. Hanska's got it inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. That's going to be good for an Eastlake first down.
I love it.
Chase Hanska with a great snag from Barry Smith.
And again, that key on Miles is just taking so much pressure off on the downfield side of the game. And
I love Barry Smith's patience. I feel like he's not forcing the throws and he's waiting for the play to develop.
I mean, the patience and the poise in the pocket tonight is something that he's really struggled with a lot of the season. And tonight he's just taking his time and looking at his reads, and it's great to see.
Miles has Barry Smith kept the ball.
There's a flag on the play.
A little confusion on the play there.
Yeah.
I was confused. I thought Miles had the ball.
It looked like it.
Good fake.
If Miles had the ball, he would have had a house call here for sure.
Not sure what the flag's going to... Oh, sorry. Look down for just a second.
Holding.
5 yards on the illegal procedure on the offense there. So it gives the Wolves a little breathing room, but we got to get to the end zone. The chains are down. There is no first down to be gained. Landon, Ort, and King to the far side. Hanska by himself on the near side. Barry Smith's going to go fade to Hanska.
He was hit super early by that defender.
Barry Smith threw that quick. 65 checking in the game. That's Lincoln Winter. That was a called fade to Hanska. I love it after he just made the catch that he had. I thought maybe they were going to look to Ort on the far side. But I'll bring up 2nd and 12. There is no first down. Miles in the backfield. King, Kim, and Landon on the far side. Hanska on the near side. Fake. Jacob Kim down to the 3. It was a play action of Miles, and Barry Smith throws a laser slant.
Great
that
to
was
see
a
Jacob Kim. Just a great throw and catch by Barry Smith to Kim.
Welcome back, Jacob. Jacob's first really game was back last week against Newport. Jacob had a ankle injury against Tumwater, and another one of those players where we've gotten healthier. We missed them for a good part of the year.
Jacob had 2 touchdowns in that Tumwater game before he went out. Those are his 2 on the season.
Colby Johnson's in the game in the backfield. 3rd and short. They fake it to Colby. And touchdown! Miles Johnson! Eastlake scores again! Ryder Barry Smith with another touchdown pass.
And we're going to look at the they bite on Colby, and Miles just turns around 1 yard into the end zone. You're going to see it right here.
That was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball into the catcher's belly. Boom! Touchdown, Wolves. Landon Johnson's interception results in 7 points for the Wolves.
And that's Miles' 3rd receiving touchdown. So, Miles is almost as productive as most of the other receivers on the squad. You got Landon with 4 now, and then you got Miles and Chase both with 3. So great to see. I mean, Miles, like we talked about, I mean, he is just that impact player. He's the motor. And
so amazing that so far tonight, the passing game is what's driving the ball up and down the field. Barry Smith's got to have over 100 yards passing
for sure
in the first half. 2 touchdowns puts him at 15 for the year. He came into the game with 1,346 yards. If he's got 150 at half, he's on pace to have his biggest game of the year.
Absolutely.
So we didn't introduce this side of the kickoff team. We've got Finn Hanna, Bratland, 16, Blake Puchar, 36, Troy Baker, and then number 2, my son, Estes Oliphant, playing what could be his last game tonight, but we're trying to extend that. And your son also there.
Absolutely, and that one's going to make it
into the end zone. And number 2, Max Fagau, who's a very good ball handler, frustrated that he doesn't get a chance to return it, and to be honest, I'm glad we don't have to tackle him once more.
I am super glad. You know, Dave, last Saturday, you and I were watching a little lacrosse with some of these guys in a tournament here in town, and Miles and Riley and Landon and Nolan were supposed to be coaching. I showed up, and Landon and Nolan are playing, and at one point, Miles put his gear on, and I looked at you and said, I'm leaving, because I would hate to see what this team does without a Miles Johnson on it. Hopefully Coach Hurd doesn't go listen to this broadcast. I'm sure he'll hear about it, but
play action. New quarterback in the game. This is number 11. Hits his target, number 7, in the flats. He's still on his feet. And a pack of Wolves takes him down, but not before a huge gain.
So that's
for Mead. So a quarterback change. That's Evan Drew, the junior, comes in the game. Number 6, the senior, 2 first half interceptions.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. You know, I mean, in all of their games, both quarterbacks have played. So we heard some rumblings that somebody was dinged up. I don't know. We'll see how the play goes. But that was a big catch and carry.
Coach Snell calling an audible on the sideline, or letting the play clock run down. I'm not sure. Heavy formation in the backfield. Hands it. No, it's a jet sweep to number 1. We've already seen this play. He does get around the corner. He's hit hard out of bounds by number 26, senior Adam Barrick, the linebacker, with a nice form tackle. But again, another big gain for the Mead Panthers.
And the clock's 4:10 left in the quarter.
This Mead offense is not played bad. They've moved the ball, and then you've just had an unfortunate penalty or play that set them back. This drive, they're moving. Another heavy formation, run up the middle to 2. Fagau, he's tackled by Barrick. Fagau drags Barrick for a few yards. It's going to be a Mead first down on the 42-yard line. So Mead now into Eastlake territory, yet to score here in the first half. Inside of 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Quarterback calling the signals. 2 receiver set, double tight end set, running back offset. Looks to be a heavy run formation. It is. Up the middle, number 2's got the ball. He's wrapped up by, again, no, sorry, that was Jackson Wheeler. 28. But again, junior, very good linebacker for the Wolves. So glad to have him back.
But our guys are sitting 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and when first contact comes at, he runs through the line of, the offense and defensive line, and our first contact is our linebackers. That's really tough to stop more than 5-6 yards.
Yeah. Same 2 receiver set, double tight end, and it looks like Coach Hurd's going to call a timeout with 3:05 to go. Give the defensive line a little breather here and let the defense reset just a little bit.
And up by 14, I guess you can play a little bit soft, but I would like to see a little more aggressiveness on the run game. Their passing game has not been amazing, as we've seen. I mean, they just had 1 long reception, but generally they've been throwing it up for us, and we got 2 interceptions. So I'd like to see us be a little more aggressive on the run game.
Just going back to the missed field goal by Byman, it was a beautiful kick, beautiful hold. We thought it was good. That would have made it 17-0. That would have made it a 3-score game here late in the second quarter. But If Mead can put the ball in the end zone here before halftime, we've got a game, Jeremy.
We do.
If Eastlake can come up with a stop here and go in up 2 scores, Mead will start with the ball in the second half. If they can punch the ball in and get the ball back, they are in a position to tie this game. The Eastlake defense has got to come up with a play. Another handoff to Figau. He's a very patient runner, follows his blockers. He's hit hard by Barrick again, and Finn Waldron comes in late on top of him. Jackson Wheeler, 26 and 28, hard to tell apart. They're both excellent linebackers. Welcome back, Jackson Wheeler.
So it's interesting, as we look at Lake Stevens, they played Woodinville. We've all played Woodinville. Woodinville was the bottom of King Coke Crown, and that game was 56-28. At half, it was a 1-point game.
Play action. It's going to be thrown to the middle. Number 4 bobbles it, and Miles Johnson absolutely folds him. Number 9 is going to feel that tomorrow. Ouch. That was a hard hit. It was not dirty or illegal. The ball had hit number 9's hands, and Miles came in when he was in the air and just absolutely hits him.
He was.
Clock stops 2:26 on the incomplete pass. It's 4th down. Watch for a hard count here. I have to suspect that Figau is going to have the ball.
I would guess.
Hard count. Figau does have the ball. He follows his blockers, and he's got a first down and more. Wrapped up by Finn Hanna, and Finn Hanna's going to need to come out of the game.
So 2:19 left on the clock. The clock stops. Three timeouts left for the Panthers.
We got a Mead Panther down on the play. That is Figau down on the play. Very impressive running back.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have 50 yards already tonight, if not more.
Yeah, I think I would guess more.
So as we wait for that, I think I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors. So Kinson and Kinson Homes, thank you for your years of support of the Eastlake football program, as well as other clubs, Kinson and Kinson Homes, Eastside, and Seattle's Home Experts. Pine Lake Ale House, if you're down there watching the game, I don't want you to necessarily leave for the rest of the day, but you can leave and come over here and then head back after the game. But thank you to Pine Lake for your years of support of the Eastlake football program and other programs here at Eastlake. So,
Caden Eaton checks in at defensive end for the Wolves on the far side. Paterno's out of the game. 1st and 10 for Mead, and they're going to throw on first down, taking a shot at the end zone. Jacob Kim is there. Jacob knocks it away. Number 3, locked down in the corner of the end zone.
So here's the replay. And I think Snell's feeling a little bit of urgency here as we go into the half. He needs to, he'd like to have a score on the board and needs to slow the clock down a little bit. So I think we're going to see a little more air attack.
Great defense by Jacob Kim. Jacob Kim coming into the game, not the starting cornerback. Finn Hanna came out of the game just a couple plays ago. And Jacob, great technique, swatting the ball away from an athletic split end. I think that was number 5 on the far side, who's now in the slot.
They're going to give it to
another
Hayden.
Play action, another throw to 5. Miles Johnson! Miles with the interception! Huge play! He sniffed that out. They moved number 5 from the far side of the field on the last play. A quick slant, and Miles just jumps the route, climbs the ladder, and Eastlake will take over with their 3rd interception of the first half.
That's amazing. And if Miles misses that and the reception's made, Jacob Kim is right there. So, we would have had a completion, obviously. But, yeah, Jacob Kim was right there to kind of help out and clean up if Miles misses that jumped route. But that's something else.
4 receivers set. Miles still in the game at tailback. Hanska and Kim on the near side. Landon and King on the far side. Barry Smith's going to throw on first down to Hanska. And he makes a one-handed catch before he goes out of bounds on the 27. So the clock will stop with the minute 53 to go in the first half. What a catch by Chase. Jeremy, I go back to off-season 7-on-7 training that these guys did, outside programs with Jervis, Eastlake, the camps, and I feel like they're really passing the ball like Coach Hurd wanted to do all season. So fun to watch right now.
And the patience you're seeing in Ryder Barry Smith today.
Barry Smith's got pressure. He's got Hanska. Oh, Hanska's third deep ball of the night. I think that was probably the best opportunity he had to come up with one. He's
and number 9,
been well guarded.
His Lee Colum has had has had great defense all night. I mean, I can't blame that on Chase. That's just good coverage by Lee in the
And I will note that
secondary.
Barry Smith had huge pressure there. In fact,
Right.
I thought Barry Smith was just going to throw it away or maybe tuck it. But now a tough third down for Eastlake. If they don't convert here, they're going to have to punt and give Mead the ball back. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach runs the ball here on third down just to get the clock rolling and then evaluate on fourth down where we're at. No, he doesn't. He takes another shot, and Barry Smith and Hanska had a miscue.
Yeah, so interesting call. I kind of was with you. Yeah, I mean, you got an all-conference running back in your backfield. You got 5 yards to go and short time on the clock. But coach decides to go in the air. They had a miscue, and we're going to see Steiner in and see what.
Coach Hurd is fired up on the sideline. I think he's a little bit frustrated with the decision Ryder made there. I'm not sure if he wanted him to throw Chase on the out route or throw to the other side of the field, but we've got a bad snap, and Steiner gets rid of it. The ball does not take a favorable bounce. Finn Hanna's going to pick it up around the 46-yard line. So after all of that, Mead is going to take over with 1:36 to go.
And they've moved, like you said, they've moved the ball well. So, I mean, this isn't a game over, half over. So let's see what Coach Snow can come up with. I don't know that we're going to see him go to the air. We don't know what happened with his running back. Like, we didn't see him in that last series. Number 2, Max Fagau. It looks like he is back in now.
Jeremy, if you were to tell me that we would have 3 first-half interceptions, 2 first-half passing touchdowns, and only be up 14-0, I would tell you I don't believe you. But
Coach Hurd is still super fired up on the sideline. He walked away from the defensive huddle, taking a breather.
We've got a second raffle ticket, and it is 329. 219. Grab your raffle.
I think what's going on is Eastlake's putting in more of a pass-heavy defense. I hate to use the word prevent because that doesn't prevent anything.
No. It's like a delay, right? Call it a delay defense because you're just delaying the inevitable. So,
But it looks like Vopone, Waldron, and Paterno are in at D-line, so it's a 4-man front. Steiner, Barrick, and Colby are in at linebacker, and then 2 safeties, Bratlin and Landon and Miles deep. So it's a 4-3 cover 2. Hannah and Landon at the corners. Mead was split back. They fake the handoff. They're going to take a shot. 2 out of the backfield was wide open. Great play call, but Coach Snell's going to watch that execution and wish that his QB threw a little bit better ball there. Number 2, one of the best players on the field, Max Fagau, was wide open, and Eastlake fortunate that he was overthrown. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from Mead's own 46. 1:32 to go in the half.
and again, I would expect more passing, less running. Though Mead still does have 3 timeouts left, so it's not a shortage of timeouts.
3 receiver set, 2 to the far side. Quarterback rolls to the far. No, he's coming back to the weak side. Doesn't like what he sees. He's going to run, and he slides. Miles Johnson comes in late. I think Miles is going to get called for
Roughing or
unnecessary roughness,
unnecessary,
whatever,
yeah.
15-yarder. Quarterback did slide feet first, so he's given up himself, and that's just one of those tough situations. You don't know if he's juking or...
I mean,
what he's going to do.
A guy that's running I just watched the replay. A guy that's running as fast as Miles when the quarterback goes down. I mean, Miles had already committed to the legs, and there's no way that he could have stopped that contact. And I think that's what the officials are talking about.
We'll wait for the call here.
Personal foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Results in a first
Big
down.
penalty there for the Mead Panthers. That's a 15-yard add-on to the end of the run. Minute 24 to go. I believe once the chains get set, the clock should start because the tackle was made in bounds. And there, the clock does start. So a minute 23 and winding. Mead with two running backs and a wing back in the backfield. Double handoff again to number 1. The first time they ran that, there was a fumble. Bratlin, number 27, on the tackle.
Brought down by Barrett Bratlin.
Minute 2 to go. The clock's going to go inside a minute. Mead does have all 3 timeouts. A little surprised they're not using them. Single receiver to the near side, receiver to the far side. Quarterback's looking, taking a shot at the end zone. Landon Johnson's there. And I think there's going to be offensive PI. Landon Johnson was in position to catch the ball.
Let's watch the replay here. Yeah, I agree.
And number 9
tripped him,
Lee
knocked
Cologne,
him down.
who, by the way, this is the same player that's guarding Chase Hanske
Right.
every single pass.
Yeah, he grabs him, throws him down.
For Cologne.
I will be shocked if it's not on the offense. Bratlin's clapping as if it is. We will wait for the call.
Pass interference. Offense, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 1.
15-yard penalty. That is a huge offensive penalty.
Second down.
Probably pushing
Down is
Mead
2.
out of
Well, and quite
range
honestly,
for the time
also
being.
saved another interception. So a good penalty by Mead, if there is such a thing as a
Probably
good
saved
penalty.
the 4th interception
Right.
of the first half.
Because Landon was in position to make the catch. And
Twins
I don't
to the
know
near
that.
side. Single receiver to the far side. Quarterback's going to take another shot. And he doesn't like what he sees. He's going to run, and he's wrapped up. Adam Barrick, the senior, with the tackle. So the clock's going to go down to 33 seconds. And now
Mead takes a timeout.
timeout is
Their first
called
charge.
by Mead.
Timeout.
3rd and long. Eastlake is out of timeout. So if Mead doesn't get what they want here, they would be able to.
Do something.
If he's tackled in bounds, Mead will be able to go to the locker room. But if for some reason a player goes out of bounds or it's incomplete, it'll bring up 4th down, and
Yeah.
Eastlake will have one chance to get the ball back.
I don't know. I mean, if you're Coach Snell, I mean, you probably know him better than most. Coached with him for a season. What does he do here?
Coach Snell's not scared to take a shot, but he's also smart, and he knows if a defense is playing soft or off. I could see him running a route to get half the yardage back and then make a decision if he wants to call a timeout or not. You got to suspect that the Eastlake safeties, Finn Hanna, Bratlin, Jacob Kimhill, are all going to be in a bail coverage, and if he's able to get half the yardage and call a timeout, it gives him at least a chance at a field goal. 11 drops back, and he's going to run it himself. He goes out of bounds, so interesting. I think that's good for Eastlake. The clock stops. It's going to be 4th and 15 on the 37. That's not in field goal range. This would be a 50-plus yard field goal.
Yeah, their field goal kicker kicked a 41-yarder this year. So, I mean, a 51-yarder in high school is.
So what's interesting here is if Mead doesn't get the first down, Eastlake will take over. They don't have any timeouts.
But they got time to take a couple shots.
Timeout. Mead. Their second charge timeout of the half.
Interesting.
I suspect a quick kick here, Jeremy. I don't think to turn the ball over right here with 20 seconds, it's not a lot of time with no timeouts, but a couple passes, Eastlake could get a field goal. I think if it's your Coach Snell right now, either punt it out of the back of the end zone or try to.
But to burn a timeout, I mean, I hear you, 4th down, to burn a timeout with the clock stopped. in this position is a opportunity lost, because if you convert and you're inbounds and you have one timeout left, I mean, your chances of getting another playoff are 0.
Yeah. So the Mead offense does come onto the field. Quarterback 11, Evan Drew. Stud Max Fagau in the backfield. 2 receivers set to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Look for Fagau out of the backfield. 11 drops back. Fagau's in the flats. He looks at Fagau, doesn't throw it to him. 17 catches, but will be tackled without a first down. So Eastlake will take over on downs with 15 seconds. I suspect that Coach Hurd will kneel it.
Eric made the tackle. And the ball turns over on downs early. 1st and 10, Eastlake.
Jeremy, on these deep balls from Barry Smith to Hanska or Landon, the Hanska balls are missed by a yard, and good coverage by Mead, but one misstep, and those are touchdowns. Do
Agreed.
you take a shot here?
I think you do. I mean, that's how I would roll. I think that's how you would roll.
And they will line up in what we know is victory formation and take a knee here. Barry Smith will take a knee. Statistically, Barry Smith will run the ball there for a short loss, but on the scoreboard, Eastlake is up 14-0. And how about this Eastlake defense, Jeremy?
I think this is the best we've seen them play all season. They needed to play this well against a high-quality team like Mead. And so, yeah, I think it's really something else. I'm going to say we're going to take a little break, watch the cheer squad. They're here today supporting these folks at halftime, and listen to the band a little bit, and
we'll be back.
We'll be back. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back.
Please set the clock for 15 minutes.
If you haven't checked your raffle ticket from this last time that we called one, here is the number again. We have not had a winner come up to the booth, so please check your tickets as we call off the number again. 329-219. 329-219. Just as a friendly reminder that our concessions are open and located behind the homestand stands. We have pizza, wolf dogs, popcorn, and slushies, as well as a lot of candy, treats, and warm and cold drinks to choose from. Also, again, we want to welcome and invite our guests from Mead to come and enjoy our concessions. Thank you for visiting our stadium.
All right, welcome back, Eastlake fans. Looks like we have about 5.5 minutes left in the halftime intermission. So I want to kick off again with our sponsors. None of this happens without our sponsors, so a big special thank you. Kinson and Kinson Homes. Thank you for your years of support of Eastlake football program as well as other clubs and program. Kinson and Kinson Home. East Side and Seattle's home experts. Pine Lake Ale House. We all love Pine Lake Ale House. Thank you for your years of support of Eastlake High School. Join them for breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays. Tomorrow would be a great day for breakfast. Big win, go down and have breakfast. Or
I think if we win, you and I might be there tonight.
We might go there tonight. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times. Best atmosphere in town. Thank you, Pine Lake Ale House. Cheryl Hill Compass Real Estate, also mother of Riley Hill. Helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. Thank you, Cheryl Hill. LBM Travel Incorporated. Thank you for your support, LBM Travel. Let Leanne be your expert guide to travel and savings. Pape Material Handling. Thank you for your support, Pape Material Handling. We appreciate your support of Eastlake Wolves football. And actually, I just learned how Dave Oliphant was brought into the fold was through a connection with Pape.
It was in the lobby at Pape Material Handling in January of 2004. I met a guy named Joe Monahan who invited me into the Eastlake family, and it's been happily ever after for me since then.
And then last but not least, Bradley Distributing. Big thanks to Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great service. Before we jump in, I do want to give a shout out to our cheer sponsors also. So Inspire Dance Academy, Precision Chiropractic, Deluxe Lash and Skin, Seattle Search Group, Hensel Phelps Construction Company, Cheryl Hill Compass Real Estate. I have a button for her. Studio B Portraits, Premier Mechanical and Electrical, Seattle Yachts, Dale Carnegie, Amy Barley and Lori Bauermeister Real Estate, and Glow Airbrush Tan. Thank you to all of the sponsors, both football and cheer. Again, none of this happens without you. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do for the program. So big thank you to them. It's been a great season. We've got a couple of extra games of sponsorship shout outs, so that's great. Dave, I think we're talking, this is, I know we keep saying it, this is for sure our last home game. We're going to go on the road, and most likely this is our last game announcing unless the team can pull a big rabbit out of their hats. So next week there's a potential that Dave and I will be just fans, which is what it is. As you get into the playoffs, WIAA starts having broadcasts of their own on it's NFHS. They do it with announcers, so it's not just a static stream with no announcers. So probably our last week here, for sure our last week here at the Woods, and probably our last week announcing. So,
but Jeremy, just touching on the sponsors, the booster club for Eastlake football is called the WFA, the Wolves Football Association, and head by President Jim Ort. There's a host of great leaders in the WFA. Darren Painter's the vice president right now, and some that have got younger kids, some that have got seniors. But been around a long time. I'd say this is the strongest the WFA's ever been financially and in terms of volunteers. The amount of people that are cooking hot dogs down at the concessions, the folks that are doing different things on the field, giveaways to the students tonight. If you look around the field, you can see the banners and the soccer goals in the end zone, the flags. And then up here, the broadcast crew, some of this is personal equipment, and some of the technology, the huddle equipment and the Starlink internet, some of the things that we have are part of the WFA. And this booth was completely remodeled in the off-season, beautiful paint job. I believe the Flynn family, Tricia and getting called around.
No, we're going to go live on the screen.
Oh, the Flynn family did a great job remodeling up here this year, and just can't say enough good things about the WFA, and we had a great fundraiser auction here a few weeks ago. It was fun. The coaches came. There was an early time where some of the players were part of it, and there was games you could compete against players, and then players left, and it was a parents-only night where we just had a lot of fun together.
We did some trivia.
You and I did some trivia. We had a blast with that.
Coach Hurt was the big winner.
Yes, indeed. It's just been a great group. And this senior class is special. There's 26 seniors. We honored them on senior night a couple weeks ago. And what we thought was going to be our last night here, and it feels like we've had an encore of encores. I'm grateful that we were here tonight. And going here into the second half, Eastlake has a chance to make it into the final 16.
Yeah, and what an afternoon for football here in Sammamish. I mean, the last couple, senior night, absolutely dumping. Last week against Newport, absolutely dumping. Our staff here, and we're in the Pacific Northwest. This gear does not like water. Right? The windows don't like water. There's nothing in here that really likes moisture. Tonight, the windows are clear. The cameras don't have garbage bags over them. And it's great. It's way easier to set up. Sean Goldie didn't have to go put his little magic box over the end zone camera that he crafted up. So thank you to all these folks that are here making it happen, and we appreciate it. You and I are just the celebrities. We show up and do our little talking and wrap up and go home.
You guys, if you're watching online, you have no idea how much effort it is just to carry all the camera equipment from the SUV up here. It's several suitcases, Pelican cases full of technology, and we go to pack it up. I feel incompetent. There are cords everywhere, and they all have a purpose, and my good buddy, Mr. Sean Crandall, knows where every single one of those go. And I give a shout out to our legacy amigo, Jim Thatcher, who started doing this 4 or 5 years ago. And Jim has graduated on to other things. He's with us
at home watching us today, for sure.
I'm sure he's watching us.
He'll give us a score. He'll give us a grade. And for sure, he gave us a thumbs up. I know Jim Thatcher gave us a thumbs up today. How many thumbs up do we have? Do you have any idea, Dave?
I don't know. We'll check right now.
It better be over 50 or I'm going to be really sad.
I've got it on my phone here, 205 watchers, and some of you have left us some chat. We have 28 likes. Somebody else just gave us a
205 people watching right now, and only 28 likes. So I think we can do better than that.
You probably have it on full screen on your TV, and you're like, I don't know how to like. Well, grab your phone, go to Eastlake Wolves YouTube channel, and click on it there, and just give us a little like. It helps us pop up easier for searches and even for some commercials. If we do those things in the future, it gives us some credibility on the interwebs. Yeah. So with under a minute to go in the halftime, the Mead kickoff for team is eager to take the field. Number 1 and number 2 back deep. That's number 1, Tice Tuggle Jr., and number 2, Max Fagau. And I think we would all like to see sophomore Ben Byman booted into the end zone. The wind is, I think, blowing in our face a little bit from the Mead side to the Eastlake side. Not sure if that helps the kickoff.
Yeah, it's really more left to right as you're looking towards the scoreboard. So I guess west to east, if you will, but we'll see what Ben can do here.
It's hard to tell. The flags here are coming at us, but we will get started here with the Wolves up 14-0. Is going to be a great half of football, I can assure you. And Byman's kick is in play. So the Eastlake kickoff team comes down, and he's hit hard. Jack Steiner.
Oh my, that is the boomstick.
Very rare that you see a big hit like that on a kickoff. I have no idea where Jack came out of. Look for number 4 here. Number 2, Fagau, just doesn't see Steiner, and he comes around the corner. And
Jack just came off the edge, and
all-conference punter right there.
All-conference punter.
Jack Steiner, outside linebacker on the near side. Colby Johnson and Barrick inside. two-back set for Mead. They've got number 11, Evan Drew, the quarterback, the backup in the game. First play is a handoff to 2, who just carried the kick return. He's got a good run and more. He's still on his feet. Hit hard, but not till he gets to the 40-yard line. A gain of 21 yards. Jeremy, I feel like we've said this several times. Number 2 does come out of the game after a couple big hits. We've seen number 2 bust 30-yard run, 10-yard run, 20-yard run on first down, and then the Mead offense is kind of stalled out a little bit. So let's see number 28, Hayden Coons comes in the game for Fagau. Still a two-back set. It's been a run set. They hand it off to Coons. And the Eastlake defense had him for a loss in the backfield, but he's going to pick up about 5. Miles Johnson there. Nice tackle by Miles.
Yeah, they, like I said, they had him for a yard or 2 behind. They just couldn't. It looked like they're tackling too high. Looks
Colby
like
comes out of the game holding his hand, I think. Bratland goes back in. Handoff up the middle again to Coons. He's got a nice gain. Looks like 28 Wheeler will take his legs out. Steiner, Rosera, pack of wolves, and Mead moves the chains.
So we talked about the adjustments. What adjustments was Mead going to make with their offense? I think we're going to see a shift to a heavier run formation this half. Right, their passing game was fairly ineffective, if not ineffective, and we're seeing that for sure.
Here it is, an inside run, and Barrick's got him for a loss. Adam Barrick, the middle linebacker, read that like a book. Favorable spot on the play, and it'll only be a loss of 1. Barrick shot through like a rifle.
He did.
Mead still in the two-back set, split back, twins on the near side. Going to throw here on second down to the flats to the big fullback 49. Steiner with a form tackle, but he's still on his feet. Nice gain by the big fullback. For a second, I thought he was going to lose the ball.
I did too.
The Wolves were going for a strip.
And Steiner had great contact. You watch this. A perfect tackle by Steiner. But that big number 49 just spins out of it. He's a lot to handle.
I'll note number 2, Fagau, is back in the game. 3rd and short. I have to imagine they're going to put the ball in Fagau's hands. Let's see if the Eastlake defense has got pressure here. Hard count. Eastlake disciplined. Looking to the sideline. Coach Snell calling in the play. It's going to be an inside run. Indeed it is. 2 follows 49. And Steiner there for the tackle inside the 35. That'll be a first down for Mead. The yard to gain was 37. He got passed out by about 3. So Mead with a solid drive to start the second half here. Stays in the two-back set. A wing back on the near side. They're split in, brought in tight to block. And it'll be a play action. Quarterback rolls out. He's got 7 in the flats. And he's tackled, upended by Miles Johnson. Kyle Kilman with a catch. Brady Painter comes in the game at defensive tackle.
Budish is coming in too.
I think this are Budish's first defensive reps that we've seen, which is a little surprising because he's been an outstanding linebacker this year, but staying fresh for offense. Two-back set still. Hand off to 2 up the middle, following his blockers. Bratland wraps him up on the 22. He drags Barrett to the 21. Pickup of a few on the play. Sorry, that was 2nd and 1, so that'll bring up a first down. The chains haven't moved. They do now.
They're winding the clock.
Mead now has a first down, marching down the field on the 22-yard line. Two-back set still. Fake handoff to 2. One's got it on the end around. Still on his feet. Miles wraps him up. Steiner helps him.
And that's Tice Tuggle.
gain of about 5 on first down. Number 1's helmet comes off. He'll leave the game for 1. That's about the 3rd time we've seen that jet sweep. We've done a good job defending it. They've still got a few yards, but nothing big on the misdirection.
So yeah, clock's running, 7:30.
Still in the heavy 2-back set. Handoff to 2. He's following his blockers, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. That's 27, Barrett Bratlin. We don't have a weight chart here, but I would guess Fagao tips a scale at 210, something like that.
I would guess so.
Legs look solid. He's not the tallest. He kind of has the Ashton Genty build down there.
Yeah.
Not the Ashton Genty stance. His hands are on his knees. 2-back set. And another carry by Fagao, and he's going to be wrapped up by Finn Waldron.
Fagao gets the ball again.
Maybe a first down.
Yeah, it looks like Mead's saying it's a first.
Finn Waldron leading that pack.
Indeed, it's a first down.
And looks like it's going to be a first down.
So the chains will move. The ball will be spotted on the 11-yard line. Technically, Mead could get a first down inside the 1. It's effectively 1st and goal, but there is a first down to be gained. The Eastlake defense has really got to lock in here. Mead largely running the ball on this drive. 2-back set still. Going to be a pass on first down. Quarterback rolls out. He's got his big guy, 49. Shedding receivers. After all that, he's only going to pick up a yard. I think
looks like
a couple of Eastlake Wolves banged up on the play.
Paterno's going to come out
in the game for Paterno. 49. Again, we don't have a weight chart in front of us. He looks like he's about 250.
He's bigger than Fagao for sure.
And you bounce off of him. He's strong as an ox. He stays in the game.
I mean, he just chucks Steiner to the side.
Still 2-back set. A handoff to 2. No, it's play action. 11 rolls out. Doesn't like what he sees. There's going to be a flag thrown. Steiner goes up, nearly intercepts it. Quarterback's down on the 25. There's a flag on the 15-yard line.
That's going to be
in the vicinity of holding. So, Jeremy, what do you do here? Do you take 3rd and 10 from the 11 or 10, or do you push it back and go 2nd and 20?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great – I don't know. I mean, Fagao is a running back. He is clocking him off. It's 4-down territory. I think I take the 10 yards myself.
They're going to take the yards. I'm shocked that 2 plays
Offense
in a row,
number
first
58.
down and 2nd down.
10-yard
Fagao
penalty
hasn't
from the
touched
previous
ball.
spot.
Now they're put in
Replay 2nd
position.
down.
This is what we've seen a couple of drives now where the running game of Mead gets them where they want to be, and then a couple passing plays and a penalty, they've got an unfortunate set of circumstance. So here we go with the 2-back set, 2nd and 20. It will be a play action looking down the field. Quarterback's got pressure. Miles Johnson pushes him out of bounds. I don't know if it's going to be a sack, but a very short gain for Mead. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long, so the penalty is fortuitous for the Eastlake defense.
Now,
short gain on the play.
This is potentially field goal territory for Mead. If they pick up a yard or 2, that would be a 39-yarder, But with the wind swirling down there, I don't know. I don't know that I'm betting on my kicker right now looking at those flags.
2 receivers to the far side. 2's offset. Quarterback rolls to his left. He's looking at the end zone. He's got a wide open wide receiver. Touchdown.
Pass complete to Cooper Smith.
We'll watch that again on replay. I think that was the classic post wheel. The corner followed the post, and the number 2 receiver, which was 4, runs just a shallow out and up. The flat route's got to go with that, and the cornerback stayed with the corner too long. Looked like Landon Johnson said, "That's me." Eastlake was in a 3-deep zone there, and Landon stayed with the wide receiver on the far side that ran the post a little long, and number 4 was wide open. Mead gets her first points of the night. Good hold and kick. Cuts the lead to 7. So first drive of the second half, Mead offense impressive, and then a huge touchdown on 3rd and
they burn 7 minutes off the clock in that drive. So, I think, that the ground game is definitely not clock friendly. They did a lot on the ground. Had a couple of penalties in there that backed him up, and obviously we thought we had him pinned back, but a little blown coverage in the secondary, and
that's high school football for you.
High school football, and that was a 16-play drive by Mead. So,
16 plays. Wow.
So, for the second time tonight, we're going to see the Eastlake return squad. And we got Landon Johnson and Miles Johnson deep. We got Jack Steiner as an up back. And we'll see what Mead does here.
Landon Johnson with an unbelievable first half with a pair of interceptions, a touchdown reception.
What we haven't seen this year is somebody go to the house on a kickoff return.
I was going to say, and Landon, you could totally redeem yourself from the last play. Not that you need it, but how about a house call right now?
He is a guy that likes to redeem himself. Holds himself to a super high standard. And
long, low kick. It looks like it'll go into the end zone. It does not. Miles fields it right at the goal line, and he's on his feet across the 20 to the 26.
And that's interesting. Again, Miles had a foot in the end zone. The referee...
It must be where the ball is on the plane of the end zone. I'm not clear on the rule. We're going to have to research this,
Even
Jeremy.
if you looked at that,
it looked like it would have been a touchback.
It looked like it should have been a touchback, but,
Eastlake benefits from it. We'll take over on the near hash on the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, going right to left. Hanska and Ort on the far side. Landon and King on the near side. Throw on first down. Ball's over the head of Hanska. Barry Smith, I think, just put a little bit too much on that one.
No good. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Eastlake threw the ball really well in the first half. Everybody knows that Miles Johnson is the weapon of this offense, and a little bit hard to tell if
it looks like they are keying on Miles, and they are committing to stopping the run.
If they're keying on Miles, or if we're just executing on the passes. King's in the slot with nobody on him. I like King in the flats right now. They give it to Ort on the end around. Big Daddy Ort makes a cut, and he's got first down. James Ort the third.
We're going to add James Ort to the rushing folks for the year. He has had 0 rushing yards. So he's had a couple of touchdowns, a couple receiving touchdowns.
If you're wondering, James is listed at 6'4", 210 and growing.
That's a play we have not seen this year, and tough to scout. So
I'm going to be honest. If I had to tackle James there, I don't think I'd be thrilled to do that.
No.
He is a load. Trips on the near side. Landon, Ort, and King. Hanska by himself on the far side. Fakes to Miles. Mason's got the ball. Good block by Ort. And it kind of a neck tackle.
Yeah.
There's been eras where that was illegal. Mason's going to pick up a few with the Barry Smith throw on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. Ball spotted on the near hash on the 44-yard line. Jacob Kim checks in the game for Eastlake. Ort goes back in the game. Barry Smith headed to the huddle to call the play. Play clock's down to 10. Eastlake will have to get this off. A little confusion. Play clock's down to 5, 4, 3. Barry Smith gets it on. He's looking to throw. He takes a shot. Landon Johnson was wide open. Looking for a flag. He was held around the 35. Landon asking for the flag, but gosh, he was so open. I think Ryder could have just connected with him. Let's take another look at this.
I think
Not
Ryder
sure if
was
the camera
throwing.
will see it.
Yeah.
Number 3 had his hands on Landon. He was frustrated, but man, Landon was open. So that brings up a 3rd and long for the Wolves. Again, number 3, this corner on the near side, playing with a cast tonight. Shout out to Luke Marchessault. And Barry Smith with a pass to Jacob Kim. What a throw! And nice catch.
Jacob works himself out of downs somewhere around the 28-yard line of Mead. So, yeah, what a conversion. And Riders just get, I mean, again, they're not sending the house. They're blocking the run. They're plugging the holes. There's a flag on the play. I didn't see that until just now. So let's wait for that.
That's in the vicinity of a sideline warning, is my guess. Or roughing the passer.
Holding defense number 3. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Maybe that's repayment for Landon's hold on the play before. Referee maybe.
Referees don't do makeup calls, but that might have been.
Might have been.
Didn't matter.
Right.
Barry Smith hit Jacob Kim for a huge 3rd down and 8 conversion. And Eastlake now knocking on the door of the red zone. Comes out in a 4-receiver set, 3 on the near side. Landon, Kim, and King. Far side is Hanchka. Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith pump fake and go to Hanchka. And great defense by number 9 there. Did not bite on the pump and go. I like the call. A little bit of a double move. What I like is Barry Smith's time to throw. He hasn't been pressured or
He's had 1 or 2 pressures and
not knocked to the ground.
Not knocked to the ground. Not much. Not like normal.
What I would like to see is Eastlake maybe possess the ball a little bit here running. Miles hasn't touched it a lot. Maybe they're feeling the heat of this Mead defensive line, but on a pass protection, we've been controlling them. Let's see if we can get the ball in Miles' hands. Miles does take the ball, and he gets around the corner to the outside. 2's in pursuit. Flags on the play. I suspect that will be a holding. Miles tackled for no gain on the play.
Cooper Smith from the Panthers was there to push him out of bounds.
Mason Flynn will check out, and Lincoln Winter will check in. Lincoln, great to have you back. Lincoln had a little bit of a knee injury earlier in the year and has been able to come back from that. So Eastlake's going to come out with a heavy run set with Ort and Budish. Officials still talking about the penalty, whether they want to take the penalty or replay the down. Question is 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 20?
Eastlake's backing up. Ball's moving, so it looks like it's going to go 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20 it is. Ball's on the near
offense
hash.
number 64, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Taps his quarterback, Barry Smith, on the chest. Vibing a little bit here on offense. So Budish and Ord at tight end. 2 receiver set to the far side. Miles in the backfield. It's going to be a play action. Pass again. Deep. Barry Smith under pressure. He throws a 50-50 ball, and it's going to be intercepted on the 15-yard line. James Ort was the trailing receiver.
They're saying incomplete.
No, it is an interception. The official on the 15 is giving them the ball.
Roughly right at the 15-yard line.
So Mead will take over. I believe that's Eastlake's first turnover of the night.
It is. And that's a play where they had a ton of pressure on Ryder.
Or it was defended. I think Barry Smith, if he had that one back, he'd either throw it away or tuck it and run. It was well defended by Mead.
Yeah.
I actually saw them run that play at practice this week where they run off the safeties and then Ort sneaks out. Great defense there by Mead. Mead takes over on the 15 with the ability to tie or take the lead. Jet sweep to number 1 around the outside, and he's got room to run. Miles Johnson's the last one there. Barely gets him out of bounds. Great job by Miles to prevent the touchdown there. If Miles doesn't make the tackle, we have a tie game.
Yeah. And the clock stopped at 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
What a great high school football game today. And here's our guy, Figal, running hard. He's hit hard. That's Jackson Wheeler, number 28, with the tackle.
It's 3 or 4 on the play.
Man, Fagau's a tough running back. If he was a video game version of Ashton Genty, I don't think you could tell the difference. He just looks like him down there. He runs hard, physical, big legs, low center of gravity. Jeremy, just going back to the last couple drives, number 7, that tight end on the near side is tall in the 6'4 area. He's had a catch on the last drive. I would not go to sleep on him if it's a play action. It's a handoff to Fagau again up the middle. He's got a seam, and he's still on his feet, but the ball's out, and Barrett Browlin has it! I thought they were going to call the runner down by forward progress, but Fagau fights so hard. Eastlake ball, the white hat has signaled. Another turnover for Mead, and Barrett Browlin with a huge fumble recovery. The player that jumped on...
They just threw a flag?
There's going to be a flag on Mead, I think, John, with the officials. I suspect that will be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike. If so,
that's unfortunate.
Eastlake's going to take over inside Mead territory with 2:13 to go in the third quarter.
Here's the final call for that last ticket.
And that's just unfortunate. I mean, these officials, they don't have replay. It's real time. You know, I mean, we've seen it. They don't make all perfect calls, but they do pretty good.
They do good. And I get that it's an emotional game, but there's just no place for bad mouth, and especially.
And I'm sure Coach Snell will handle that.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Mead, number 68. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So lineman for Mead, number 68, Bo Finley. Probably, like you said, John, a little bit on his way back over to the sideline.
Needless to say, I don't think he liked the call. I think what Mead wanted was a forward progress call there. It was very close. Eastlake takes over 4 receiver set, Miles in the backfield. Jacob Ken motions, fake to Jacob, give it to Miles. He's got a little seam, and here he goes. Miles Johnson inside the 30, inside the 20, still on his feet. Down to the 10-yard line. We do have a Wolf down on the play, but a huge gain.
Banged up a little bit. That's Chase Hanchka's down.
Chase was just blocking. I think Chase and Miles just kind of got rolled up on each other.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Chase actually got the benefit of Miles' helmet as he was going down, if you saw the replay there. So hopefully Chase is all right. We'll got the training staff out there.
They're looking at his leg. Offense headed to the sideline here, so we'll take a minute and
let's give a shout out.
Just going, this drive here taken over by Barrett Bratlin's fumble recovery. Miles has got us down to the 10-yard line now while we have a minute to breathe. But
that was Miles' first big play of the game.
That was.
I mean, he had the interception, but I mean, first offensive, large Miles Johnson-like run.
Yes.
And so great to see. But, I mean, they've really pinned Miles down, and it's forced the passing game. Passing game has responded well. So Chase is getting up.
Chase is up on his own feet, hobbling a little bit, but hopefully he's able to just shake that off. Just kind of an awkward play where he rolled up on Miles.
See what, I'm sure our training staff, led by Kendall, will
she's awesome.
Get him taken care of.
So number 10, Arif Doshi checks in the game at split end on the far side. Mason and Kim in the slot. Landon on the near side. Miles in the backfield. First and goal from the 10. They hand it to Jacob Kim. Jacob gets a couple.
Jacob Kim gets a jet.
Good defense by Mead on first down.
Almost back to the line.
Estes Oliphant checks in the game for Doshi. So Estes is in for his best friend Chase Hanchka.
Second and goal.
Not that Estes wants Chase to be injured, but hopefully he can make something happen out of this drive.
Yeah, so we're at 2nd and 9. Second and goal, I guess.
Trips on the near side. Estes is in man coverage on the backside. Hand off to Miles. Miles goes to the weak side. Gets around the end. Touchdown, Eastlake!
And there's two for Miles.
Eastlake takes a 2-score lead with 1:07 to go in the third quarter. Miles Johnson, we saw him do it against Bellevue, run into the weak side there, and I'm glad to say that Estes was blocking around that outside. I saw him fight, and I didn't know if maybe there'd be even a penalty called, but good fight in the end zone with number 9 for the touchdown there.
And Byman's up to add the extra point.
J.R. Gill to hold, Riley Rue to snap. Looks like a little movement on this side of the Eastlake offensive line. I suspect that's going to push us back 5, and we'll replay the down.
Before the snap, false start, offense number 18. 5-yard penalty. Free.
All-Star's going to move the ball back to the 8-yard line.
And Byman from the 15-yard line puts it through, so he's only missed one on the seasons. And Byman obviously is a big part of what this Eastlake squad does every week. So 1:07 on the clock in the third.
What an exciting game. Jeremy, I felt like the momentum had shifted back to Mead. I thought Mead came out after the first half, drove right down and scored, and then had the ball and was marching. And a fumble by their best player, Fagau, picked up by Barrett Bratland. And Eastlake drives the ball after the penalty about 40 yards for the touchdown.
And, I mean, what a complete game. I mean, so far these Wolves, I mean, both offensively and defensively, they bent, they haven't broken. They continue to move forward, you know, as they fight through really every down of this game.
Huge kick by Byman. Holy guacamole.
That is all the way through the end zone.
Jeremy, that might be his best of the season.
I think it is. It was kind of a low, didn't have a lot of amplitude on it, if you will, but had a lot of snooze, if you will. And
we're making words up here. That was a heck of a kick. That's all I know.
Yeah. I mean,
it landed 5 yards behind the goalpost.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of pro teams that would pick Ben Byman up right now.
I am so disappointed that his field goal didn't go through earlier in the game. It was a beautiful kick. I still can't tell which. It must have just been a little wide right. The angle that we had looked like it was good. Here's Fagau with the ball up the middle. He's hit hard by Jackson Wheeler.
And this
Gain
is
of a few.
Point in the game where a guy like that, you know, either he gets a second motor, and, you know, Eastlake has that ability to switch guys out so they can be fresh. And so, you know, Wheeler's had a great game, you know, really his first game back. He saw a couple of downs last week, but, you know, great to see Jackson back on the field and impact in the game.
And I'll note Fagau playing both sides of the ball. That this game's going to take a toll on him. Play action over the middle. Seven's got it. We talked about him last drive. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down by Wheeler, Steiner, and others. But a big gain on 2nd and 5 moves the chains.
Kyle Kilman.
Wheeler and Steiner, it's good enough for a Panther first down.
Kyle Kilman is also
big, tall tight end. Reminds me of James Ort a little bit out there.
I mean, he's another defensive guy also. I mean, Kilman has 3 interceptions and 4 sacks, and now he's playing, you know, tight end on the offense. So
double tight set here, 2 receiver set. Fagau offsets, play action, quarterback rolls to the near side. He's got a defender in his face, and he's going to go down for a sack.
And Evan Drew is taken down.
That is number 26, Adam Barrick with the sack. Paterno was there to help him clean it up. But a huge loss on first down.
I mean, really kind
Adam
of
with a great sack to end the third quarter.
Paterno kind of corrals him, you know, and Barrick just cleans it up. So I think if we win this game, Coach might run out of stickers. They have the impact stickers they give out for the guys that show great effort, and there's so much happening in this game. So
If you're a college football fan, there's a great game going on right now, Oregon and Iowa. Oregon down by 1 point with 23 seconds, and it looks like they've got all the way down to the Iowa 27. So exciting finish there in college football. Jeremy, wow, 2-score lead going into the fourth, and I feel like our running game has still got some life in it. If we can, at a minimum, slow Mead down and possess the ball, I really like how we're going to finish.
Well, we flip it. Let me give a quick shout out to the sponsors. So we got Kinson and Kinson Homes, Kinson and Kinson, Eastside and Seattle's home experts, Pine Lake Ale House. Again, Pine Lake, great place that potentially Dave and I end up here in 12 minutes. So come on down, join us for a craft beverage and some tasty eats. Thank you.
All right, Mead's another play action, looking down the field, double move, quarterback going deep. Landon Johnson's in the vicinity, and he has his third interception of the night. I'm jumping up and down. Landon Johnson, a game of a lifetime.
You know, in lacrosse, what you call that is a hat trick, right? Landon Johnson has a interception hat trick. Hasn't had one all season.
What was his song that they played every time he scored? I think it was one none of us want to sing.
Yeah, no, I wish I had it right now because I would probably play it.
Great job, Landon.
Yeah, it was like the Roboto or something. You know, I don't know. It was awful. But what he's doing tonight is amazing.
So the Mead offense has 4 interceptions and a fumble, but they're still in this game.
They are.
If they can get a stop here. Eastlake with 1 turnover on the night. Barry Smith had an interception extended down the field. So all offense on the near side. Landon and Kim on the far side. Orts at tight end. Jet sweep. Fakes it. Hands off to Miles. Miles has got a few. Some extracurricular on the far side. Landon Johnson and number 3 battling. Landon's helmet almost came off. Jeremy, I do notice that big number 49, the fullback, still in the game at defensive line. So that dude is a man-child playing both sides of the ball.
I hope Landon's new head coach for the Cornell, what are they, the Big Red, is watching tonight, because he's seeing a display of athleticism.
I am smiling ear to ear from him. So we've got Oliphant and Ort on the near side, Johnson and Kim on the far side. Barry Smith calling the signals. Miles in the backfield, jet sweep, fake again. Same exact play. Miles follows Vapone, gets around the outside. He might have enough for a first down.
I think he's got a first down.
We'll see where they spot the ball. Yeah. No, it'll be third down. It's going to be about 3rd and 2.
Taken out by Luke.
And again,
Clock
I think
is stopped at 10:55 with Miles going out of bounds. Budish comes in the game for Kim. So Hanchka does have his helmet off. Jeremy, with the amount of shots we took deep, I thought for sure he was going to have a night tonight, but he is.
So he took a helmet to the knee. Probably a little bit of a contusion of some sort.
Handoff up the middle, and Miles has got a nice gain.
And this is where Miles just wears you down, right? This offensive or defensive line is tired, and the linebackers are tired. They spent a lot of time on the field today, and so I think you're going to see Coach Hurd doing a little bit more. So... And for the 247 of you online watching, again, if you don't like it for Dave and I, do it for Landon Johnson. Right? I mean, just hit a thumbs up for Landon.
We love you, Landon. Jeremy, I'm looking down. It says Oregon Ducks field goal made. So Oregon goes to Iowa and takes on the Hawkeyes there. Big win there. Jet sweep 2. Landon Johnson, he's got the edge.
Oh,
nice defensive play there by number 4, Cooper Smith, junior.
He just kind of looks like he lost his traction as he was trying to turn the corner. And so with a win tonight, we're going to most likely go up to Lake Stevens. Now, Lake Stevens had a close game going with Woodinville, who was the bottom of Kinko.
Similar to this game, I feel like we match up better with a team like Lake Stevens that's more of a spread offense than like a Bellevue. Again,
I would agree. I would
ball.
agree. So I think that's exciting.
Budish in the game with Ort on the near side. Heavy run formation on the near side. They do hand it to Miles, who does follow them, and he's swallowed up. And there's a flag on the play. This may be a face mask.
Men in the backfield by a litter of Panthers, led by Garrett Miller and Cooper Danes.
So we'll wait for the call from the
Must
official.
be holding on Eastlake. It looked like somebody had their arms around Miles' face mask, but the way the officials are pointing, I think this is going to be a 10-yard penalty on the Wolves.
Holding. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
So the heavy run formation comes out, and I think we're going to see a little more spread.
Clock winds, 9:30 to go in the game. Eastlake up 14 points here. Second and long. Passing down. 10 formation in the game. 4 receiver set. Miles in the backfield. Oliphant and Kim on the near side. King and Landon on the far side. Barry Smith drops back at the screen to Miles. He's got blockers. Finn Waldron. And Miles picks up about 10 or 12. So it's going to make it a manageable third down. Clock will stop going out of bounds.
9:09 on the clock as we tick through this fourth quarter.
Looks like the Huskies are tied 10-10 against Wisconsin home today.
If
Huskies
they can't
number
win,
23.
they should go into the bottom 100. I mean, I love Wisconsin. They have not had a great year of football.
They
so
have it, and you are a Wisconsin
I
guy,
am.
so you're sensitive, obviously.
Oh, man. It's just, I mean,
Not a good year to be a Badger.
not a good year to be a Badger.
Oliphant by himself to the near side. Ort and Budish on the far side. Barry Smith winds out. He's got Ort for a big gain. Inside the 20. James Ort,
The
first
third.
down.
You forgot the third.
James Ort the third for the first down. Jeremy, I can't wait to go back and look at the stats from today, but
I know.
third down conversion after third down conversion. Ryder Barry Smith just finding the open targets. I absolutely love it.
Now, didn't Ryder's brother play for Snell?
He did.
Yeah,
I
so-
think two of his brothers might have, Parker and one of the other ones.
So,
Oliphant and Ort on the near side. Far side's Budish and Lannon, so it's a 12 personnel. Miles nearly decapitated on the 15. He'll pick up, I think, a yard, but hit
The ball goes up the middle.
up high. It's
yeah,
going to bring up 2nd and 9.
looks
But
like-
the clock continues to run, 8:20 to go in the game. So Eastlake has the clock on their side, and at a minimum, Jeremy, if we can get a field goal here, that would make it a 3-possession game. And the
Not
Eastlake
saying-
defense has played well.
Yeah, not saying, that is the dagger, but I mean, a 3-possession game with 8 minutes, the way these teams have been playing tonight definitely starts to put it, in a realm of out of reach.
Barry Smith in the backfield, fake handoff to Landon. He gives it to Miles. Miles hit at the line of scrimmage, pushes forward for no gain.
Just gets it back basically to the original line.
I thought that might have been a play action.
He was met by the Panthers number 49, Dustin Johnson. Third down for the Wolves.
Steiner coming in the game for Miles. Miles maybe a little shaken up on the play. So Steiner in at tailback. The all-conference punter, also a very good running back. Barry Smith calling signals. Another third down
Yeah, we
coming
saw
up.
Jack walk the tightrope last week and take it in. So
Oliphant on the near side. King, Kim, and Landon on the far side. Pump fake. He's going to... Barry Smith holds onto it late. Throws. There's going to be a flag in the vicinity of holding. It could be an eligible receiver downfield. It was a very, very long play, but it looked like all the linemen
all the
were near the
linemen
line
stayed.
of scrimmage.
he threw it before he got to the line of scrimmage. So see what the call is from the official.
How about the time that Barry Smith has had to throw today?
Man. I mean, it's unbelievable.
If you came into today, I wanted to say this earlier, I feel like you have to stop Miles Johnson to beat Eastlake.
Yep.
But if you were to come in and say, we're going to force Barry Smith to beat us with his arm, well, guess what? He has. He has absolutely played an outstanding game. And that's not just Barry Smith. That's the offensive line protecting him. It's Paxton snaps. It's the receivers catching the ball.
So here's the call.
Illegal use of hands on the offense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Well, I like where we're at, Jeremy. Illegal use of hands, but we get an opportunity for a 32-yard field goal from the near hash. The wind's blowing a little bit. The flags look like they're blowing at us, but it's not a heavy wind. Byman is a left-footed kicker. This is a very makeable field goal for him. Good snap, good hold. Byman's kick is blocked. Huge block there.
That's
interesting to see where that penetration came through, but a huge block for the Mead defense. This probably would have been the nail in the coffin. And it actually came through like the C gap out there. Tough play. Well, the Eastlake defense will take the field. Good to see Miles back on the field. Waldron and Volpone in at D tackle, and Paterno back, which is good to see. And it looks like Bratlin, Wheeler, and
Finn
Hanna, and also Adam Barrick in the game. So Colby Johnson, we haven't seen as much this half.
I think he left the game. So maybe when Colby went off with his hand, something happened. So Colby sounds like he's out for the game.
He's gone. All right. Well, the Eastlake defense takes over. The ball is on the 9-yard line here with the blocked kick. It's where it went out of bounds. And Big Fagau, he's got room to run. Chugging across the 30.
He's inbounds, so the clock will run.
Jeremy, I was trying to figure out why the ball was spotted where it was. The blocked kick, I believe the ball went out of bounds on the 8-yard line on the field goal. So Mead backed up on their own 8-yard line. And, of course, there he is, Max Fagau with a huge run on first down. Can Mead build on this? This is where they've struggled all night, is they move the chains a couple times with Fagau, and then they go away from it, and something happens. Two-back set, they give it to Fagau again. He's up the middle, and Adam Barrett grabs him, gain of about 5. And if you're Fagau, out of respect for him, he's a horse, and there he is. He leaves the game. He's exhausted, so he's playing both sides of the ball. 28, Hayden Coons comes in the game at tailback.
Who's done fine tonight. I mean, Hayden has carried the ball. He's done it well, but he is no Max Fagau.
He's no Fagau. And interesting point
and
here.
The clock is running.
Mead has to move the ball down the field. They're going to have to take a shot eventually. Landon Balin, it's another handoff to 28. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but finally wrapped up by Steiner and Paterno at the 41. It'll be third down and short.
Hit high at the line of scrimmage. Again,
Fagau does come back in the game.
Both of these guys,
they have to move the chains, but they also have to get to the end zone or they're going to run out of time.
Right. And the clock is running. Play clock at 31 seconds. Game clock at 5:27.
And they direct snap to Fagau, wildcat of sorts. Fagau plows forward for a first down across midfield. He's right on the wolf head on the 49-yard line. And the clock will stop momentarily while the chains move. And another heavy run formation. Low snap. Fagau picks it up in the wildcat. He's following his blockers, and he's got room to run. He's still on his feet. Moves the chains again. So with 5:07 to go in the game, the clock will stop momentarily while the chains move. As soon as the officials spot the ball, they will wind the clock, and they do. So the clock, 5:05, 5:04, as Coach Snell calls in the play. I suspect a play action here. Fagau's carried the load a couple plays in a row. Where's big number 7, the tight end? Quarterback looks deep. He's going deep in coverage. Barrett Bratland with his second turnover of the day. Eastlake's fifth interception.
Fifth interception.
Miles Johnson 1, Landon 3, and that might be nails in the coffin. Barrett Bratland, the ball hawk, 2 interceptions earlier in the year against Mount Si. Now today he's got a fumble recovery, a host of tackles, and a huge interception, the 5th of the day for from the Wolves on the 7-yard line. And with 4:43 to go in the game, the Wolves are a couple of first downs away from advancing to the round of 16. Oliphant and King on the near side, Landon on the far side. Hand off to Miles. He's following his blockers. He's going to get out across the 10, gain of about 3 on the play. But most importantly, the clock is running.
When I think if you reflect back to the Bothell game, at the end of the game, we were really struggling to stop the run. And, if you would have said, hey, you're going to make it to the round of 16, I think there would have been a lot of people that questioned that after that game. But we come out last week against an inferior Newport team. This team we match up very well to, and here we are knocking on the door, right? 2 scores. We have the ball. The clock is moving at 4 minutes left. So I think if we continue to do what we're doing, we're going to go play in Lake Stevens.
Hard count. Miles has got the ball. He cuts back, runs into his own blockers, gets out to about the 13-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd and 5. Clock goes inside 4 minutes.
Now it'll be interesting. Hopefully Chase can make it back next week. Hopefully Colby can make it back next week as we go into the round of 16. And those are 2 impact players with the Wolves that we could be tough losses.
Oliphant and Kim on the near side, Landon and King on the far side. And it's a handoff to Jacob Kim. He cuts it up. Hold on to that ball, Jacob. He gets lifted off the ground.
Big number 49.
Glad to see 49 didn't do anything unsportsmanlike there. I think with forward progress, he barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Big 49, Dustin Johnson he's a load.
Their first charge timeout of the half.
Mead takes a timeout. The Eastlake punt team will come on the field. If Eastlake can just slow them down, we're in a really good position.
Yeah.
Turnover is the story of the game. We talked about it in pregame, and I think it was the first thing I said was before blocking and tackling, which...
you think about it. I think coming into this game, and I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, we had 2 or 3 interceptions, a couple of fumbles, and not always recovered. I think we've had 2 fumble recoveries. So really, through the season, if we had 4 turnovers, that was a lot of turnovers for us. And now here we are, what are we at, 6?
6, 5 interceptions and a fumble recovery.
So we've,
And to think that Mead is still in the game. So hats off to this Mead defense. They have played physical, tough football.
And you knew, Coach Snell is a great coach, right? 20-4 record at Eastlake is nothing to be, ashamed of at all.
Steiner with the rugby kick, low kick, and it gets a good bounce, but Fagau fields it. Landon misses the first tackle, and Fagau runs 32, Rory Johnson, into the Mead sideline. Rory will get credit for the tackle. So a net gain of only about 20 yards there on the punt. Fagau, the last guy we want to have the ball in his hands, does a good job there. Looks like most of the Eastlake starters in on defense right now, which is good to see, other than Colby being gone. Looking down at my phone, Wisconsin has the lead now, Jeremy, 13-10 against the Huskies.
Great. That's awesome. I'm super happy to hear that.
So interesting here. Fagau in at Wildcat quarterback. Are they going to ride the shoulders of Fagau on the run with only 2:55 to go in the game? They do on first down. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Bratland nearly had him for no gain. Fagao, very tough ball carrier, still gets about 8 on the play, but that's going to grind at least 30 seconds off the clock that Mead just doesn't have. They are committing to the run with Fagao. I have to think there's a play action in here. Fagao, again, just follows his guys. On 2nd and 2, he's going to pick up plenty for the first down. Forward progress inbounds. Clock will stop while the chains move. Once the ball's respotted, the official should wind the clock. 2:23 to go in the game at the moment. Look at a replay. This is just a game of rugby scrum right now.
It is.
Second
really, this is a game of bend but don't break.
Mead uses their second timeout. So at this point, if you're Mead, they have to score, onside kick, and then score again to tie. They could go for 2. But with only 1 timeout left, the odds are more and more in Eastlake's favor. Oh,
there was no charge timeout. Charge to Mead. First down.
Oh, interesting. They said no charge timeout to Mead. So Mead gets very lucky there. Clock does finally wind, but they said there was no timeout there. Little confusion on the field. Another Wildcat. It's going to be a reverse to 11. This is a pass. He's got his guy wide open. He's going to be tackled before he gets to the end zone. Clock will stop momentarily. We knew they had more up their sleeve than just the Wildcat. And, of course, that was number 11, the quarterback, throwing that play. They're going to run right behind Big 49 here. Somebody's got to get in the backfield. Fagao is going to walk in the end zone. Well, he dove in the end zone, but he didn't have he had a clear path to go in.
So that takes it just under 2 minutes.
Wow. So with a 6-turnover night, Mead is an onside kick away from having a chance to tie this game. This extra point is really important. Number 16 on a kick, Donovan Dominio. And Mead doesn't have enough guys on the field. They may get called for a legal substitution here. That's big number 7. And number 7 doesn't have his mouth guard in. I think that was generous of the official. That would have been a flag. We saw a flag earlier in the year for no mouth guard. Good hold, good kick, and just like that, we have a 1-touchdown game. Wow, give the Mead defense credit. Eastlake had the ball and went 3 and out with a short punt. Mead behind their leader, Max Fagao, the senior tailback, playing quarterback in the Wildcat formation, absolutely marches down the field, and then on a little trickery, gets down to the 1-yard line with a pass from Evan Drew.
And everything hinges on this onside kick. And
indeed it does. We get this onside kick. It's victory formation for 3 plays, and we are headed down to take pictures with our boys. If Mead gets the ball here, this is going to be a real interesting finish.
Yeah. So we have a heavy hands group in the
So the hands group on the field is basically the offense. You got Ort, Hannah, a bunch of starters on both sides of the ball. Ort, Hannah, Steiner, Barrick, Bratland, Budish, Miles, Landon Johnson, Mason King, Jacob Kim, and back deep is 17, Gideon Birchfield, if they do elect to kick.
Got to go 10 yards before they can touch it.
It is a good onside kick. It bounces high up in the air. There's a...
Before the kick. Timeout. Eastlake. First charge timeout of the half.
Eastlake calls a timeout before the onside kick. It was a beautiful version of an onside kick. It did exactly what you want it to do, to take a couple hops and then a big hop.
Hard to say what would have happened because the whistle was blowing. So, you know, if
Miles did field it.
Yeah.
If the whistle's not blown, he probably gets lit up there without a lot of protection.
So we're going to get a redo.
Well, normally when the first onside kick happens, the kicker, if they haven't played here before, doesn't know how the field bounces. It's not always the best kick. That was perfect.
That was perfect.
So let's see if he can do it twice in a row. And it is clearly teed up to onside kick in the exact same spot.
Say most kickers can kick one way.
And it is similar. It pops up, and it's fielded by the Wolves on the 50-yard line. Eastlake is 1:59 away from advancing to the next round.
And that was Adam Barrick that fielded the kick. And there's another great onside kick.
Adam Barrick with a fingertip grab on the replay, if you look at it. I don't know if we can look at the replay one more time, but the ball just goes right into Barrick's hands. I thought it was going to sneak through his hands. There was another Wolf in the vicinity, but what a great job by Barrick on this onside kick recovery.
Oh,
Bratland was
yeah.
in the vicinity. So the Wolves line up in a 4-receiver set. Miles in the backfield. And the ball is handled to Miles. It gets across midfield.
Ball is handed to Miles. Gets about a yard in the play. It's going to bring up second.
I don't know why the clock isn't running. The clock didn't run on that play for some reason.
Dustin Johnson led the
Timeout.
Timeout called by Mead. So only
Second
1
charge,
second
timeout of the
off
half.
the clock there. We got a less than favorable clock operation on that play, but now Eastlake, if they kneel the ball in the play clock, it's only going to kill about 45 seconds off the clock, I suspect, or less. So Eastlake does need to attempt to get a first down here. If Eastlake can get a first down, the game's over. If we don't, then the clock on this play likely goes down to about 1:15. On third down, likely goes down to about 30 seconds to snap on fourth down. If Eastlake did punt, Mead would have a long way to go with either no or one timeout left.
But they are an explosive team. So I think the best bet is to...
Oliphant and Kim on the near side. King and Landon on the far side. Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith hands it to Miles. He's got a little seam. He's hit hard. Oh, no. And the ball came out, and Mead has it. Miles was hit very hard on the play. Miles, a sure-handed runner. We've only seen him fumble in a couple games. But good job here. And guess who it is? Fagau was wrapped up, and number 4, that's Cooper Smith, comes in and knocks the ball out. So a minute 47 to go. This is best case scenario for Mead right there.
That is. And I bet they're going to give it to old Max Fagau.
The clock is against them. The Eastlake student section is not big here today, but they are loud. 2 running back set, and they do hand it to Fagau. He's hit. Steiner wrestles him down across midfield. So the clock runs inside of 1:40. Mead does have one timeout. I've been watching the signals for Mead all night. I see a few different things. I suspect this is going to be another inside run. Watch Fagau following Big 49, and he does. Up the middle, Fagau's got a first down. He gets across the 40. The clock will stop while the chains move.
Gets past the 40. Looks like it's going to be good enough for a Panther first down.
I'll note that Fagau was just in on the last defensive series. He ran hard the last series. This guy is absolutely in a boxing match right now and fighting to the end.
And he's really carrying this Mead squad. And
he's following big
gritty.
number 49, Dustin Johnson, who's played great. And a play action looking deep. Oh, nearly tipped. It's caught by 20. Sorry, wrapped up by 20. Miles Johnson, also caught by 20. Garrett Miller, first time we've called his name in a while. So 55 seconds. The clock will start here soon. It starts now. And the quarterback spikes the ball. That was a unique spike. 51 seconds to go.
To stop the clock. Going to bring up second down.
So big number 7 checks in, tight end.
They don't have a lot of time to just run the ball. But They do have one timeout, so they could try to get closer to the end zone and then take a couple shots. It's still a two-back set. Sevens at tight end on the near side. Quarterback calling the signals. He's going to pass. Looks down the field. He's going to the end zone. Ball's up, and Finn Hanna in coverage. And it's incomplete. Miles Johnson had the ball in his hands. Couldn't quite see what happened in the far corner. That was Finn Hanna on the coverage. I think Finn actually knocked it down, and then Miles was there. Miles, I think, intercepted that.
I do too.
Looking at the replay, I think Miles Johnson intercepted that pass.
Yeah. Just the officiating crew wasn't in a spot.
It's possible he bobbled it there in the back of the end zone. 3rd and 10 for the Wolves here. The crowd's rocking.
45
It's Wildcat
seconds.
formation, and Fagau keeps it himself. He's got a few yards. He bounces it outside. He tries to get out of bounds. I thought the forward progress stopped, but they're going to stop the clock with 38 seconds to go on the 13-yard line. I don't agree with that call because his forward progress did stop as contact was made in bounds. But Fagau gets out and the officials call it stop. It's 4th and short, and here's Fagau on the Wildcat, and they do another end around, and he's tackled for 4th down. I don't think he got it. If they don't give him the first down, it's Eastlake ball. Game over, Jimmy. We're on to the next round.
A little bit of heart palpitations here.
With a stop.
That was quite the chain of events.
If I'm Fagau, I want the ball in my hand on that play. It was
I agree.
A creative play call, but holy smokes.
Yeah. So,
what a finish.
A game of highs and lows, of ups and downs.
I am out of words. What a game. The Mead defense absolutely playing their hearts out.
Yeah.
Max Fagau, I will never forget your name, dude. You played your butt off. What a game to go out on. And Barry Smith will take a knee, and this game is over.
So, let's give a shout out one more time. Kinson and Kinson Homes, Eastside and Seattle Home Experts. Thank you, Kinson and Kinson, for your support of Eastlake football and other clubs and programs here at Eastlake. Pine Lake Ale House. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, good times, best atmosphere in town. Thank you, Pine Lake Ale House. Cheryl Hill, Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. Thank you, Cheryl Hill. Pape Material Handling. Thank you, Pape Material Handling, for supporting Eastlake football. And last but not least, Bradley Distributing. Big thanks to Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great service. Thank you, Bradley.
Jeremy, we'll transition here. It has been a wonderful season.
It has
I don't
been,
know
yeah.
if we're going to get to do this again, but all the viewers online, our families.
And before we go, I mean, a shout out again to our crew here. I mean, none of this happens
get in here.
without this guy right here, executive producer Sean Crandall.
Sean, we love you.
The man behind all of the wires and my crazy ideas. I call Sean on Friday, be like, hey, we're going to do this. He's like, okay, and we do it. So thank you, Sean. Appreciate everything you do. We got the rest of the stadium crew up here. You know, Chris Hanchka, we got Greg, we got Owen. I mean, they're on the stadium side. They do all of the broadcasting and or the announcing over that.
We're taking selfies up here. We don't get to do this often. Jeremy, I want to go down and get a picture with my son here, so we'll sign off here. But to the fans that have watched online all year, out of state, Bobby Jones, I'm sure you're on there. Mom, I'm sure you're on there.
Mom, hello.
Marissa, I love you guys. Thanks for joining. Anybody that roots on Eastlake football, we're thankful for you. And cheer us on next week.
Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
Network. A huge thank you to our incredible game day production crew. Camera operators, producers, graphics, audio, and the entire team working behind the scenes to make every play come to life. Your dedication and effort allow us to bring Eastlake football to fans everywhere. This broadcast is a presentation of the Eastlake Wolves Football Association. All rights are reserved. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the Eastlake Wolves Football Association is strictly prohibited.